helps him set them from the rest of the pack in their own region. But when it comes to the sea in general, Myth, they come from a very tough Thailand scene, one that has been a powerhouse in first-person shooters for the longest time. And you see players like Kadoom, who we know have also been competing for quite a while, Conga Red, who's so great. We can only expect them to really play their hearts out.
Yep, that's right. However, round number 1 is going to be really interesting right now, seeing that the lineups for both teams have been very interesting. Let's see on the breach. Let's see if it actually brings any value here. Kadoom waiting here on CT, trying to see if he can actually get through that smoke, which is one of the most annoying things about an Omen. But let's talk about Darion. Right now, let's hold on about that because Wannafly has been down alongside Alone Fields right now. It is still a 2-to-1 trade here. But in terms of the speed, Conga Red is getting a double on that one with a... Whoa, actually make that a 4. One with the fragment.
Conga Red, Unga Bunga, this guy brings into it. Just great retake coming in from him. He's one of the players I wanted to talk about and touched upon during that panel in the pre-game, knowing how great he is as a flex. And I think that's really what's going to be very important for these two teams. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of our eyes on players like Kadoom and Darion, but I really think that second and third in Conga Red for Myth and for Lexi here for Bleed are really the big playmakers for this team. Maybe not quantity-wise, but definitely quality-wise. And you saw their quantity and quality frags falling his way.
I have to agree with you, and when you think about it as well, you speak about Conga Red, we saw him play Skye as well, and his Skye has been one of the most aggressive and terrifying Skies I've ever seen. I think these kind of agents really suit his playstyle, and look at that, immediately 2 agents suppressed and he just moves away. He doesn't take those unnecessary risks, but Lone Fields will be the one to get Lexi out of the way. Beautiful Ares shot when you think about it. But you see, I Wannafly before, I think he really shines on an agent like Viper. But what do you think of his KJ plays?
I think it actually does fit in with him. He's very reliable in trying to hold down the site, at least going 1-for-1. And you might actually see that right here. Although I think Darion has a read. Typically when you do have the turret there, you can't expect a crossfire with it on the opposing side towards logs. So you can see that they have some notion that there could be a player waiting in the logs, and that's going to be Wannafly. So the suspicions remain true. They might find him, although he does fall back. For the meantime, though, Tosh, Bleed really just slowing the pace down here, trying to see if Myth are going to go and overpeak.
They're going to get spotted. Aoya
That's gonna kill him.
Immediately reacts, takes one out of the way, thanks to the Nano Swarm here. And that is the beauty of a beautifully placed recon.
Not only that, the shock dart to follow up, and somehow Lei didn't even know he was in the Nano Swarm here. Wannafly finding two. You talked about him, Tash. You tried to highlight him because he's really great in holding things down. They do pull off a flawless, very clean anti-eco here for the second round. One that they really needed to continue this lead.
Anchor. I think that's the name I want to give to Wannafly from now on. That was sick. Let's look at that again. Because of the smokes, because of that recon and the shock dart, it just really puts the players in a way where it's so hard for them to move anywhere. And they have taken so much damage as well. While it did look like Lone Fields did have the upper hand because of that Ares, but like, I just really gotta give it to them. It's just so beautifully played. Now, when we talk about Pith before, I have seen him play KJ before. He likes to lurk in the back. He likes to play it very methodically, as all KJ players do. I think we all know this. 300 IQ. But it looks like Wannafly's KJ is a little bit more, I wouldn't say flashy per se, but a little bit more, I think the sting is a lot higher compared to Pith's.
They definitely do make their own case why they're very valuable on that Killjoy role here for either side, and I think it really does fit their playstyles. Reliability is one of the biggest aspects and factors you want to consider when it comes to that, and discipline as well. You can't have your Sentinel over peaking, and this alarm bot, it's a bit deeper than usual, but it will catch off somebody in a more disadvantageous position if they ever came to it. Darion finds it out though, hearing it, that forces him back to try and regress towards Catwalk instead.
When you think about Darion, it actually reminds me of a KJ over on Full Sense just now. Very, not only aggressive, but the way they make that space. Kadoom already out of the way thanks to Lexi, and Darion gets Deland in return. Conga Red will trade out Lexi in turn. Suddenly Conga Red is just playing back and forth, but Len with the swing. Immediately Myth repositions themselves, and suddenly it's a 2-on-3.
shock dart out here. That should hit the player playing in Jenny there on Pith, but doesn't really stop the plant from going down. He does have a recon for this retake, but barring them finding a single pick, then this is going to be very difficult to do. He does pick up the Vandal here, the Wanna Fly. He wants to lay it loose. He's going to have to find the pick off first. With Maxi playing all the way here in A long, it's going to be more easier said than done. Recon's going to give him away. He's going to get the trade at the very least with Pith. He's going to find the final kill on the opposing Killjoy, and that gives him the third round that they need to bounce back into the game.
I really gotta say, while they had a numbers disadvantage just now, that recon really gave away so much information. There's just one small thing when you think about it. It comes down to your micro plays at this point. So now in terms of Made in Thailand and Bleed eSports, I think Made in Thailand loves to play more aggressive compared to Bleed eSports. So in your opinion, when you have a team that likes to play very, very aggressive against a team that likes to play a bit more passively, what are we gonna get?
We could have very different things coming in here, Tosh. I mean, well, first of all, there's an Odin on Myth's side, so you know he kind of wants to go party time.
He always goes that weapon. I mean, I understand that guns go brrr, but come on.
You got the macho gun. Sylvester Stallone would be quite happy with that.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello. Scarface this time? Oh, you got John Rambo and Scarface in the server. Okay. Oh, yeah, but we got a big gun in Kadoom's hands as well on that sniper rifle. Although he's been forced back all the way towards the spawn. Look at what he's holding. He's holding the cross in case Bleed do push up that far because the alarm bot has been given away. The only player close towards Market is Wanna Fly, although he does have Alone Fields to try and support him. But Kadoom, I think he's looking to try and peek this alone. That Aldrone will find some positions here of Bleed, kind of scattered towards that mid link. And Kadoom, he's holding the cross. This is really kind of 50-50 who will win this fight, but he does have the advantage.
You see him move little by little. Reminds me of a cat just like wiggling his butt, slowly making way to the middle. But I think they kind of suspect that he might be there, which is why these micro little moves are happening. And immediately they are going to cover that. But he says, no, I see your legs. Immediately Darion will be dropped down to the ground. Lone Fields waiting from a side here, nearly tagged by the Hunter's Fury. And Wanna Fly is pretty much ready on the side as well. Maxi with only 34 HP does get flashed. Is trying to play a little bit more safe in the backside here. The suppression is out. No one is able to use anything. But Pith a little bit faster than the Odin right now. And Pith will be caught out by Kadoom right there. Straight in the face with the op. Not a great way to go.
And Bleed are struggling as soon as Myth got guns in their hands. That Odin was able to find at least one in the Lone Fills. He was alone, but he definitely filled the gap that was left behind. Bleed really kind of, as the time ticked down, they just struggled to get any good footing, and when they actually did for the execute, because of that kind of one way that did actually help the Myth side coming in from Darion, let them get the pick off quick and clean, brought it down to a 4v5 immediately. Without much time, a scramble ensued. And it's very difficult for the attacking side to really make much sense out of that. So an eco stake will be forced upon Bleed. As you can see, pistols abound. That's all they got to work with. He can be very thrifty with his weapons, though, and I think Conquer Red realizes that and he's going to try and play the farther angles instead.
Yep, that's right. Dylan, I think one of his best games was actually on Breach. Really excited to see what he can bring to the table as Astra. Darion does have the blades. He can go for more aggressive stance here. But you understand, I was just talking to Astra earlier about how Maxi as well as Pith might have different styles of gameplay because they play more of an EU style compared to the Singapore server. And here comes the Rolling Thunder here. Dylan barely surviving. But it's good. He does take it out in return. Lexi does find Dylan after that, but Conquerette trades that out, and immediately look how fast, how everything went to 0 from to 100 in just like literally 2 seconds as soon as the Rolling Thunder ensued.
What I will say here is, you know, Bleed have been doing very good eco rounds. You saw that on round number 3, almost, where round number 2, and then right now here as well, Bleed, they've been putting Myth down a 2v2 here basically. On the retake, yes, they will get 1 kill. He's down to a 1v1, but the lockdown is going to have to come in place. All he has to do is delay, and now he's dead. They're both detained! And now they're both in the same state. They're going to pretty much face check each other. Hello, but the thing is, Wanna Fly is going to come out of his lockdown first. He's going to get the kill with a right click in his face. And they barely scrape by off of the eco as well. Myth somehow pull it off. Actually, no, rather, they didn't eco, but it was Bleed on the eco. Yes, but it was very expensive. That was kind of my point. Bleed have been making these eco rounds quite expensive on the Myth side.
Yeah, that's right. Even though they only had sheriffs and even a pistol, they lost everyone except for one player. But I have to say that was actually pretty funny. You imagine, I really want that to happen. You just kind of stare at each other like, hey, we can't move. But that 1 millisecond, I feel like probably Wonderfly was like, and Maxi just like spamming their guns, like just pressing and pressing and pressing, hoping to come out first. But clearly, that was not the issue. However, both teams will finally be back on the same equal footing in terms of weaponry. It's gonna be okay. Concussion does come out here. Darian gonna try for a cheeky jump peek here. But Kadum with the double! Oh man, they're feeling it right now.
The Kadum collateral comes in. 1 bullet, 2 birds taken down, and that's Darian and Lexi, 2 of the front-facing spears of Bleed. That's going to make things a lot more difficult. You lose your sword, you pretty much have to forgo the shield at some point as well. Bleed 3v5 is still winnable, especially if they catch Conquer Red out off guard. Maxi made his position known. He's going to be forced to kind of retreat just a hair because of that fragment being dropped down. Looking to aggress here on the grass. Even if they touch it, I'm not too sure if that's going to get them outside of this kind of pickle they're in.
Yep, that's right. And look at these setups already coming from the side of mid. It's gonna be so hard to actually get into sight. And as well, when you think about it, how Wonderfly plays this is just basically to buy as much time as possible while his teammates come out. The Swarm Grenade does come out from Market, immediately hit. Gonna be just swung out and just gets Wonderfly in return. Maxi gonna be coming in through mid, trying to see if he can catch anyone out. Does find Conqueror here. He's gonna be very, very happy with that pick. Immediately Paranoia comes out as well. Alone feels alone in this boathouse. Gets 1, which is just a shadow, not exactly the player. But look at that crosshair together, and finally, the plant will be happening with barely enough time to spare.
Oh, okay, this could be a round that Bleed at least cut that lead down to half. 2 versus 1. It's all on the Dell end. He's gonna have to ring the bell here to end this round. He has been spied out. They spot him as well in return, though. They know he's here towards the stairs. He goes for the 1. Could have followed up on the second shot, but great trade here coming in from Lenny. Not let it get too out of hand. Expensive round, though, for Bleed. Still, they get it done at the end of things. Do not have full utility, maybe, on some of their agents, but hey, if more than happy at least to win the round, one that they so desperately needed, especially in a 3v5.
30 seconds
I
left.
really like that. I don't think it was intentional to get a double there, but the problem is when you are peeking together like that, that poses a big problem. But the thing is, I felt like for Delan, he could have gone for a double because they are lined up for him. It's just, I think timing was just not there when it comes to the bullets, I believe. Timeout for Bleed. And when you talk about early timeouts, I think it's because they need to reprioritize or rethink how they play. Mid is just so good at catching stragglers in the backside, even though they play a pincer sort of way.
And, you know, there's a very different philosophy when you call a timeout after winning a round. Lots of teams, you know, they call a timeout when the opposing side has kind of been basically gaining lots of momentum to try and stop that. And so that makes sense too. But there's another kind of idea wherein after basically you've been losing quite a few rounds in a row, and then when you finally win your first round after that losing streak of rounds, that's when you call your first timeout. And the reasoning behind that is because lots of times teams kind of want to talk over why we won that previous round and how we can continue it. So that's something we kind of that's something that we kind of saw a lot more often, like late 2018, going into 2019, even before Valorant. And I'm glad to see that kind of idea has continued on.
It's like a glass half full sort of moment rather than glass half empty, and I really like that sort of idea as well. Sometimes when you get your first, we kind of gotta shake it off, you know, just keep it going. But speaking of keeping it going, Kadum all alone on A. If he were to peek, it'll be very, very not great as well, because that means there's not going to be anyone there to defend the area. Shock Dart does come out, does not find anyone. They are going to be peeking out here in a very dangerous area. It is Kadum. Space do come out, immediately repositions himself as he gets tagged, and he will be going straight to tree.
Well, not many seeds have been planted here. Myth.
Oh,
well, maybe we'll actually see one later, Tosh. If somebody gets a kill with like the Gaia skin, we actually do see a darn oak.
Oh, that's exactly the same joke that Asteroid did earlier. He said the tree has been planted.
Now I feel corny because it came from Asteroid. No, I'm kidding. Love you, bro.
you guys have the same brain after all.
No!
Concussed coming
No! I do not want that. I mean, Asher is a very...
30 seconds left.
We love him. But he's one of his own.
Want to
He's
be like
unique.
him.
Well, obviously we're talking about the game here. 4v5, Eco State put in to Myth,
Spike
and
planted.
with that they went for a bit of a gamble, a gambit. Stack that B site. Doesn't ultimately pay out though, because they're gonna have to try and maybe go for exit frags here at most towards EA plan.
Yeah, retaking it shouldn't be too hard though, but coming through with so much utility is, because especially going through an Omen as well as KJ, not very fun to deal with. Either way, door has been closed. It's another layer of rather security and information they can give to the team. But right now, look at that. Everyone's going to be playing through a long here instead of staying on site, which I feel is really good. But we are seeing actually Conga Red as well as Wannafly coming in from the back, trying to catch any exit fraggers at least. But Conga Red waiting. The flash just come out, the sprays, but Conga Red gets everyone. But at least they're both down. In return, make that 3.
That was a great eco round, all things considered at the end of it. For them to get 4 kills off that one power flash. And you saw there that Alexi, he kind of spotted out the flash was about to be thrown, but just in the nick of time, they were able to make it happen. And more importantly, Conquer Red and Wannafly able to land their shots with just the Spectres, even though they were fully blind on the opposing side with just that frenzy. Very, very nicely done. Could have been very wayward, but they get that's a value meal and a half.
Exactly, that's what we talked about as well. Like, you know, it's a mini Spectre. You can run and gun with that, especially for that range. They do find Maxi over there. It won't be suppressed for long. They can take their time. The smoke has been put out as well, especially because that's one way. However, Conga Red gonna be trying to make sure that he has Kadum's back here. We talk about the last game as well, how Flinch didn't get the support he needed when he played off. And we're not gonna see that happen again, but oh my god, immediately that shock, I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, actually gets rid of Pit's alarm bot.
They take the orb, which alerts them that their suspicions of Bleed stacking up towards that B main side is true. But looks like they kind of want to take mid control here, potentially flex towards A, but I know hindsight is 2020, might not be the best idea considering the operator of Kadum is poised towards locking down that short position. They're looking to maybe commit towards his B site. They've got the stuns ready, the Owl drone as well to try and get that information. And with that, the alarm bells have been rung. You can see the rotation from Myth are here to try and support the last 2 sentinels, rather, the last 2 anchors on the B site.
That's right, Lone Fields does see actually spot one person, Garyon, gonna be found by that beautiful shock dart. And the Hunter's Fury has been let loose. Wannafly does die, and also does Lone Fields as well. Lexi from the side there, getting those corners needed to be cleared. Maxi finds Conga Red as well. The suppress is out of the way. However, that's a beautiful way of baiting. He does find one, gets one more as well, and suddenly, ka-chow, ka-chow, Bleed takes this round, bringing it back to a 4-4.
That was looking so good for Myth on the defensive side. They got the opening kill with utility, nano swarms, plus the final shock dart to try and cap it all off coming from Lenny. But then in the scramble, somehow, Bleed, they just shoot their way out of it. Perfect Hunter's Fury to flush him out of that backside towards the B side. And because of that, they had to try and go aggress towards the mid side where they were exposed to the attacking Bleed side. And then Myth, the rest of them just kind of filtered through one by one to try and help the defenders inside the site and let Bleed isolate the fights and win them all.
Yeah, I really like the isolation method just now because we had people coming in from behind Boathouse as well as B main. But right now, Maxi holding a very nice faraway angle here, can get some information as well for the team. But coming back to that fight just now as well, I really gotta say that in a way, the area where Conga Red actually died kind of like baited Deland as well, because while he was busy reviving, he didn't think to look downstairs where we had an uninvited guest waiting for them rather. Here's Lenny. They really like these big guns, huh?
Especially in the attacking side. You'd normally expect in the defense, but on the peak, Doom goes wild. He lands a great shot here, but he's able to back off for the meantime. Conga Red's gonna find one of his own, but Max is gonna clean up house, bring it to a 3v2, finding every kill here so far for the Bleed anti-eco. It's all into a Lone Fields and Wannafly this time. They were the first ones to make contact in the previous round, but this one they're the last ones to do so. Sheriff and the Spectre in hand. That's all they got to work with. They popped the Hunter's Fury, which I don't know if it's the right decision considering they could save it for another round, for an actual gun round where it might be more useful.
Yep, that's right. They really wanted to prevent the plant, but how much longer can they do that? Shock Dart does come out. He ate a little bit of that damage. Not too much, though. Where Maxi is, he's gonna put in that smoke. Gonna be very hard to push into that, but they do have the lockdown as well. They really, really want to take this round. That's 2 ultimates used as well.
Why? Oh, well, somehow Alone Fields finds himself inside the site. Last 2 remaining are there towards that A main position. They can try and stick the defense for a half, but as soon as Wanafly goes down, yeah, this round is done and dusted. There's no way he's going to win this. Even if he gets the kills here, there's not enough time left for him to try and successfully do this out. And Pith will confirm the round. I really do think, you know, it's a 2v3. I get that you have a chance, but they staggered both of their ultimates one after the other. Hunter's Fury first, which doesn't ultimately do anything, and then Lockdown as well, which gets immediately destroyed because they still have Shock Darts on the Sova's side here for Bleed. Very, very big misuse, I think, of the ultimates on an eco round.
Yeah, even I was surprised because you did mention that they didn't have all the guns needed to win. It was not possible. At least it was very, very hard to do that. I lost so many players as well. It wasn't something that they could win. I think right now they're just being too overexcited and eager instead of thinking like about how they can make sure that those sites or those games they can fully clinch rather than just going for a 50-50 situation. And now suddenly you're down 2 ultimates that you cannot use in a round that you have full buy.
Ooh, I think his line is going to destroy the lockdown here. Perfectly placed. Yes, it will.
Oh,
that's going to stop
God.
it from getting much value. Actually, no, it doesn't destroy it somehow.
Barely misses it,
Did
actually.
they smoke it to stop it from getting destroyed? Was there something blocking its vision? That could be the case, but Kadoom finds the opening pick here on the defensive hold, and Conga is going to follow up, almost losing that fight, but successfully backs off.
Yep, Alone Fields trying to get some information here. Does tag 1, and it's going to be the Sova from the other team that will be found. For now, Wanafly, the beautiful swing out, catches Maxi off guard. And right now, the plant will be happening. Myth just trying to wait, trying to make sure that the utilities have run out of time right now. Pit still waiting in the corner here. Kadoom does not know, and nor does he. He's pushing a little bit forward here, a little bit risky when you think about it. For now, ooh, he whiffs that. Barely hits him, just by the side of his peak.
Barely gets out, but luckily he's a jet, so he can just bail anytime he wants to. Fifth is gonna have to go huge here, and Lenny finds a triple. It goes down to a 1v2.
Make that
it's
a
all on Lenny to
quadra.
try and get the ace clutch. It's in a 1v1. Ace clutch incoming. Right click with the classic does not connect as Wanafly somehow scraped by when Lenny seemed to do it all. He could not get the final one, and Myth tied the game up once more.
Ooh, we could just say as soon as Myth goes forward, as soon as Bleed takes it 1 step ahead, Myth just comes forward as well, and it's not it's unexpected. Sorry, it's very, very expected from both of these 2 teams. When you think about how they play, there are so many rounds where they come just so close to each other. But what I really like about Wanafly is just how spontaneously he plays. He's not afraid to go aggressive, to just go and peek wide, and he gets away with it so many times. It gets unpunished.
So many moments where it could have gone either way, and somehow Lenny, too little, just barely too short. But he almost got the highlight-worthy ace of his basically tournament. Does not come his way though. What a clutch that would have been. Went his way, almost doing it too with a right click of the classic. But now, second to the final round of the half. Weapons heavily in the advantage of the defending Myth. They're making things ever more so real to taking this series potentially, or at least a half, because they do have that advantage. Here comes a flash on Endo, going to try and force Alone Fields back, give him that space taken, but will they actually be able to convert the round, even with a side plant?
Ooh, Kadoom. That's a nasty knife to the face. Right now has a really, really high area here. Can try and take advantage of it if he wants to. Maxi, not a great place to be, but you also hear Darian also has knives. There will be some trades here. Rolling Thunder pushes forward, and Maxi will be stopping the wrath of Kadoom. Darian finds Wanafly as well. Maxi from the side tries to make some plays here as well. Delan just waiting for those peaks, but his area will be cleared out thanks to the fragment. Maxi still playing the little corner there. 4 bullets for Lone Fields. Wants to go on aggressive, wants to go onto the second guard. It does find Pit in the end. Maxi going in and out of the smokes. That's how it should be. Gets a free op out of that too. Waiting to see, but Conga Red was pretty much ready for Maxi. Suddenly, Lone feels alive and it's skin up his teeth.
Okay, at least, you know, Bleed able to make it quite expensive here for the Myth side. They do save the operator, but I mean, they will kind of have to, and because of that round, see how kind of poor they are. They will be able to drop, I think, a rifle, but Kadum's not going to be in full armor to do that. Perhaps a Lone Fields could drop here for Del N, but then, yeah, they are in a pretty light buy, all things considered. So, pretty good eco round here coming from Bleed, and that is why you want to be able to perform well in those ecos. Get those kills, make it expensive for the other side, so when they have to rebuy the next round, especially when it's a close game, they won't be able to have every single piece of utility or full armor that they want to have, especially for the final round of the half. So, timeout here called by Myth. Once again, a timeout called after a round win.
Honestly, that Astra smoke was very interesting as well because how Maxi uses it. He really used it to his advantage, just weaving in and out of that smoke. That smoke was actually to protect them, but I gotta say, Maxi coming through the smoke, he has no fear, coming, weaving in and out, wasn't punished for it. On top of that, he only had a sheriff as well, which means that his shots have been absolutely deadly as well compared to the side of Myth, who had better guns.
He doesn't mind being those smokes against the sun. He was born in darkness, Tosh. He doesn't mind pushing through it and living in it. And Maxi, he's made himself almost like a very, very, I guess, he's a thief in the night when it comes to smokes. Doesn't mind barging through.
Yep, that's right. I really gotta say as well. Pitt also, I have to say, is a diabolical man. He knows how to play it real safe and real sneaky.
Diabolical.
Well, you gotta be diabolical to win these rounds, okay? I mean, you're blowing up some Radiant Knight here. For now.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be buying some time here with the nano swarms. But with Len,
he's a good character.
Yeah, I guess so. Kadum going aggressive forward. Has to reposition. That is the beauty of having a KO. Now suddenly you are not able to use those utilities that you want. Deland playing in his zone smokes here, playing it real safe, but he hears sounds but doesn't know where exactly everyone's gonna be. Lenny does find Kadum outside.
Oh no.
Deland immediately walks out into someone's crosshair. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Not a great place to be, and immediately the plant will be happening. In Uptown Heaven, here's Conger.
Wow.
Does find one. Not able to find more of fragment to clear out some areas here, as well as a pop flash as well. No one is over peeking when they don't need to, which is what makes it so good. But Lexi, oh my god, one sneeze and you're out.
Yeah, Bleed, they're being very diligent, trying not to over peek here, but the kill is going to go Conqueror's way. He's going to find the third kill here on the retake. They now know as well where Maxi is. Has been doing a great job of holding down the line. Will he get the ace? Yes, he does! And Conqueror Red secure the half advantage. 7-5 in the favor of Myth. And I was kind of thinking, hey, this is looking kind of dangerous for you, Conqueror Red, peeking through the one way that was up. We've seen many potential clutches happen from these two teams. We almost saw, you know, like Lexi pull off Lenny pull off an ace clutch. A while ago, there were so many moments that could have gone either way, but ultimately, I think both teams are satisfied with the end result. Bleed 5 rounds here could extend it further, especially with Piff, Darion, and Maxi all going on the aggressive here towards that B main position. But Kadum's gonna go explosive and find 2 opening picks and retaliate.
This frenzy meta that's back is just giving me so much life. The run and gun is definitely real here, and Darion, he's gonna, sorry, not in Kadum, he's probably very happy with himself. But right now, their biggest problem, which was Conqueror, is now out of the way. That means no flashes, no fragment, as well as suppresses will be in their way getting onto the site. For now, let's have a look here. They did lose 2 out of that. The question is, there suddenly is a change in pace. They did throw out a gun there just to catch him off guard. Look at the run and gun from Kadum. Gives him 3 now. Want to fly in the backside, making sure no one's coming inside. And look at that. They are going to find another one. Kadum right now with the 4. Lenny, are you gonna give him the ace is the question now. He's slowly trying to make his way through the market. But Kadum is currently looking at CT.
No way Kadum gets an ace with this, right? With a frenzy on the pistol. Let's see though.
Does,
it's very real. He's going up against Lenny. He's gonna swing. He does not get the kill. He even gets him down to 22 HP. A single bullet, a sneeze would have killed him, or potentially even a breeze. Lenny gets 1, gets away. But I doubt he'll find much more, especially with the turret bearing down his angle as soon as he comes down from the stairs here. All he can hope for are exit frags. He's got some shock darts, but I wager he'd want to hold on to that for the next round instead, not to invest rather into this round. So Lenny, NT, but ultimately round goes in the way here of Myth. very, very nicely done. Initially, it kind of looked like they were going to take the round here, Tosh, with that aggressive play, opening pick, but maybe overextending, not falling back quick enough, and Myth were able to get 2 kills and catapult off of that.
Yeah, that's right. I really gotta say, as I've said again, I am loving. Look at the frenzy and look how far away, how far that range is compared to before. Gives so much breathing room to Kadum and the ability to run and gun. And Kadum, when he got so many of those picks, suddenly it's like a waterfall. It's like a leak where suddenly everything is just pouring through, and it's so hard for you to do anything. But just now, when you look at Lenny, he's gonna be really happy with that ace steal, or ace deny rather. You saw a small smirk coming onto his face when that happened. Once again, the
destroyed.
Lexi giving that concuss, just buying some time, making it so hard to get into sight, and that's one of the biggest annoyances of going against a breach. And look at that, immediately that spray comes out. Wannafly, as well as Dylan did get some trades here as well, thanks to that flash. But over on mid, Kadum gonna be happy. Lexi is now out of the way now, and as well as Lenny as well.
Well, if they can find one more kill here, this could be pretty decent ground. It's very possible considering it is Pith. He's got a Spectre in his hands. No armor, yes, but full HP, more than enough. 12 bullets in the mag, though. Gonna have to go for the reload. Potentially, he can maybe go kill Dellen here. It's pretty low within the site, but it's gonna be even better if you can kill one of the full HP players, melt their shields down at the very least, have them reinvest the next round for that. Especially someone like Kadum here who has the Vandal in hand. So winnable, unlikely though, but all he has to really do here is make it expensive.
Yeah, that's exactly what he has to do. For now, he does have one Nano Swarm. Going to be clearing out A main at least. But look at that, they're all 3 are on A long here. They all are very aware where Pith is. He's running out of time. This press does happen. Don't stop him from going onto site. He will still be checking after all. That's the gravity well. He's gonna come out, but Congaret was just faster in terms of Pith, especially in terms of the run again.
Well, not able to get a kill. Would have been nice here for the Bleed side, but they do get 2 at least with classics and all. And now they're gonna have to reinvest. This is a round that they are very gonna want to win. They lose this round 10-5, potentially 11-5 because of the economic advantage, and you're pretty much playing with fire at that point, very close to match point as well. So Bleed, they have to convert this anti-bonus, otherwise I think this map is going to Myth.
Yeah, they really need to, because right now they have had so many losses in a row. Look at their credits, they have nothing. Congared and the rest of the team alone fails with only just a Stinger. We all know Stingers are very annoying to lose. Lonefield's trying to put out that shock dart as well in return, getting nothing out of that. Darion wants the aggressive peaks, trying to take advantage of that, but Pith, that's why Congared as well. Lexi and Darion with the double, doing so well, really making use of this round. They do know where Dellen is. He does get spotted out here, gonna go round and round in circles. So you can get at one at least, but Lexi will be the one that says, nope, not today. We want to take this round. And suddenly it's 9-6 with only 3 round differences.
I'm really curious that was a game plan. It does work for Bleed though, but they chose to kind of close that range gap, that distance, by going aggressive into B main, using Nano Swarms to control that position early on, gain B main control, and that's where they choose to fight. A position that sometimes would kind of favor the attackers more often than not, especially on a bonus like that, because they have Spectres on the opposing side. You guys got rifles. You want to put as much distance between you versus them, but Bleed, they go and push forward, still somehow win it though because of the weapons advantage, yes, but I'm not too sure if that was the right idea. It does work out though, so you can't really knock it. But Bleed are gonna have to need more of that good fortune if they want to come back in this game.
Yep, that's right. They are gonna be clearing here. The knife will be giving them all the information they need. But right now, shots are gonna be coming through with that smoke in the backside there. But look at that, over on A, you are actually gonna be seeing Darion just anchoring himself there. Not really gonna try and go on aggressive, they don't have to. But Bleed, Lexi, he knows that there's someone over on mid as well. Congaret will be trying to get some extra peeks. This is a very minuscule angle, but Lexi in the backside there, he can choose to concuss if he wants to, and Lenny immediately knows, okay, we have a jet over in mid, and immediately Pith moves away, doesn't want to be caught off guard, because you know that if for a Sentinel they want to stay alive so that they can use the utilities at least until the end there. But Dylan might be in trouble here if he doesn't look to the right fast enough. because you can see that Darion, we can see his shots can be very, very spicy if he wants it to be. Just barely missing each other. There's 4 people there. Darion
30 seconds
gonna
left.
have to reposition, immediately reacts to that presence detected by the knife.
The longer he stays alive, the more
Oh
value
my
he gets. He
God.
only gets 1. Could have found even more though. But the lone kills is going to shut him down, not going to let him continue his tirade to Doom. He also found that opening pick, which does help him on attacking side, but the time is ticking very low. Not able to get the kill there as Delan fights back. Lexi finds 2. The flank should be able to go down, not going to be able to deny it here. Holding down that heaven position on the walkout from Pith, but he can land the shots here. If he does connect, which it won't, then the clutch will not come in. And 10-6. Myth answer right back. As soon as they got the rifles, this is potentially looking like Myth gonna start to run away with this. They have 1 more buy on the bleed side, but after that, they're done. They're drained.
Need a drop.
Yep, that's right. I'm honestly quite surprised from the side of Bleed here. They sometimes go very, very slow, but sometimes they go very, very aggressive. And it's a little bit unlucky from Darion just now because I don't think he was expecting 4 people at once there. Yes, the flash does connect, but he didn't have, number 1, he didn't have enough teammates to back him up in terms of trades. And number 2 as well, it was hard when there's 3 people shooting at you at the same time. He was only good for 1. I was really hoping he would be good for 2. Either way, it's just not looking so great for Bleed right now. And what can they do to stop the bleeding from themselves?
You have to find some way to lock on in here. Myth have been very good on those entries of theirs, and Bleed in the scramble, just looking a bit messy, sloppier than usual. Not able to find the right timing or positions. Seems like every time there's an execute on the Thailand side here from Myth, Bleed, they kind of want to trickle in. Maybe they think like, okay, I can maybe get 1 before dying at the very least, trying to equalize the odds, maybe get 2 with off timing. But the thing is, they try to keep doing these off timing dips instead of just waiting for the rest of their team on the retake. That it's been expected by Myth at this point, and they've been catching them every single time.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit too eager because sometimes it's okay to let them on the side because it's easier. It's a little bit more easy to play retakes than ever. However, we are hearing the sounds of the ultimate coming from a jet there. They do spot out his bot, but here comes the Cosmic Divide as well. Gonna make it so hard for them to get to see from heaven. They're gonna have to come onto site to stop them if they really, really want to, because you know you cannot shoot through the Astra ultimate. For now, they are just taking their time. Myth knows that as long as they can make sure they don't get flanked from the back, which is what WannaFly is doing, and so long as they can buy enough time to make sure that all the utils is just stopped, they will be able to get onto site with no problem at all.
Well, let's see if that's gonna really come to fruition. Walking their way here towards this A side, stacked up, ganged up,
Right
waiting
here.
to explode onto it. The timing is right, but Bleed, they expect this. Look at how much they're already prepared to try and repel this. Shoot that dart out, not going to get caught out here by the 0 point as well. He's completely blind, a perfect pop flash, but they go for 2 on either side. So 3v3 is what we're left here remaining with. And the lone kills, he's taking so much damage there, trying to hold things down on short position. Lockdown shall be placed, counter lockdown to try and reciprocate the favor. But underneath hell, I'm not even sure that Kadoom is there. WannaFly goes down, the answer back from Kadoom brings him to a 2v2. They're going to have to give it up. They know they can't continue to try and hold this position down. But Bleed, as 1 player is detained here on the attacking side, that's going to make things a lot more easier. Darion gets the kill. No time left. This will be a Bleed round.
Yep, that's right. That playing with time is exactly what Bleed did to stop that from happening. And the problem is so many. While they did lose from the side of Myth, they lost a Cosmic Divide as well as the lockdown, as knives, as well as 3 ultimates already invested onto that round that didn't even make the plans happen. And I really gotta give it to Bleed in this time round, because I did say they were very patient. They just kind of stopped any movement, stopped any sounds from happening. But the difference between Bleed and Myth for this round is that they didn't invest too many, and they just decided to play the wait and see game instead of being too aggressive and using so many resources just to stop them from getting onto the site.
Well, see, that aggression is going to continue to help them out, maybe, or at least start helping them out. Bleed, they have a really good fast push on that. Almost lost it in the end. They made the defensive side happen at the very least. A defensive round. Attacking side here of Myth on the eco, taking lots of damage. That's a rifle to be dropped here. Great timing from Myth and Darion to find these kills isolated. That brings Myth to a 3v5.
Yeah, and on top of that, right now, I really like how they're holding their positions. They know that mid loves playing mid. All they have to do is just hold their positions, and Pith is just trying to spray as much as he can. He was actually rewarded for that too. Gets Kadum out of the way, which is honestly one big thorn in their side because Kadum has been doing so much damage, at least getting them onto the site. But now Lexi gonna be throwing out his thing there, but look at that, even though he was blinded, Conga Red will be the one coming out on top there. Pith was just sprayed to hell. Alright, coming in through mid. I feel like Pith really likes the sprays today. He got one, he's like, I'm gonna just keep doing this. I seem to be rewarded for these sprays. For now, another flash comes out here from Lexi, and also the side there coming up there, kind of flushing out the enemies from the side. Maxi will be the one finding Dellen in return, and Lenny from the side there. Lexi finishes off alone, Phils. Not the cleanest win game right now. We're currently 10-8 is the score, with Bleed always coming, like mid will take 1 or 2 rounds and suddenly Bleed will come crawling back as well. It feels like a situation where you met with your Tinder date and your Tinder date's like trying to leave you, but you keep chasing from the back.
Is this from a personal experience, Top? Speaking of chasing back, it doesn't seem like Conga Red's going to be any chasing anything back this round. Early aggression from Bleed pays off.
Yeah, that's one rare moments where Pith goes on the aggressive. Usually he's like a very tame, docile, happy person that doesn't go too aggressive until he needs to. But yeah, when he does go aggressive, I think it really does pay off. There comes the shock dart, doesn't hit anyone just yet. Kadum and everyone else is like, okay, I think coast is clear now. We're gonna go straight onto the site. But if you look at where the spike is, it's still actually default. They're trying to get as many, farm as many orbs as number one. Number two, as many pickoffs as they can to make sure that when they move forward onto the site, they have to deal with at least too many people from so many different angles.
Very true. You know, maybe he's banking on the fact they'll never expect the Killjoy to be all the way up here. And, well,
that's what happened before. Didn't expect that to happen, but here we are, huh? I really like the fact that because of this slow pacing, they actually put 3 players onto the side of A, and Bleed is not actually committing to those early rotations just yet, but look at that op shot straight by Kadum knows where Darion is. He don't need any more information than that.
Yeah, he knew where he'd be standing generally, even through the smoke. Here comes a flash on out Kadum, and this is what I'm talking about, Bleed. Look, they're trying to filter themselves back. Oh my God, but Pith, what is he doing? Almost goes for the ace. Lexi will take it away, but he's more than happy to secure the round. Pith, man, he was the first guy to rotate from the B side to the A site, but when he came on in, he just completely shredded everything down, and I hope we get a highlight of that, but I would love to see his point of view. Pith, what a position, what a play from him to make all that happen.
My jaw is on the floor. I didn't even realize how fast he had rotated. Let's have a look at that again. Kadum comes in, immediately he spots out Darion over there. Look at that, through the smoke. So that's a double smoke, and on top of that. And look at that, the backside there, they didn't even realize as well. He just came in through tree and just started going crazy. Look at that.
It seems like the door was broken, but they didn't realize it till the smoke dissipated. And when the smoke dissipated, the timing was just there for Pith to be able to clean up all those frags. By the time they check him over, he's already trained his aim. And that's why he's on that Sentinel, to be that reliable piece of potential. And Lexi somehow spraying through everything. He's starting to go Bleed's way, Tosh, and looks like the momentum is following suit.
Yeah, Bleed is a team that needs the heat to keep going as well. And just now you saw when Lexi was spraying, his teammates were already kind of pinging where exactly he was supposed to shoot at. And we love that kind of communication coming in from Team Kadum. He will be coming in through here. Actually, mid was all open actually for them. Think about it! Kadum with the Guardian, the one-tap monster finding Pith, and that's one big thorn. Their side flown away, but he will be knocked off his feet thanks to that concuss. Maxi gonna be repositioning himself just in case. Oh, look at it, Lenny already pretty much ready with the gun. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on.
the spurt, very dangerous.
Skirt.
Skra. Yeah, perhaps. Skra for the drive-by, because it's appropriate, you know?
Yep,
That's
that's
where
right.
that's
That's very right.
That's where they want to go pop, pop, as soon as they come in through. And Lenny, he's going to let it rip this chainsaw of a weapon. He's going to completely cut through everything. Bleed. Well, they
Are you
are making the
serious,
opposing side
Lenny?
bleed. And Maxi's going to get all those kills to clean up the round as well. 10-10. And this is looking like Bleed really continuing their momentum forward. Myth, if I was them, I'd be cautious of the Bleed push right now.
Yeah, that's right. That ping was actually beautiful. When can I have teammates all ping me people to shoot through smokes? But look at this. He gets one, breaks the bot, and immediately the crossfire coming in from the side of Maxi. There was no running for that. There was no redemption out of that.
Well, why don't
You're just
you
getting
play with
sprayed
us,
from
Tosh?
all over the place through the smokes.
Why don't you play with us, Tosh? Then...
Because I got flamed for skin shopping.
Oh. Well, neither can blame you. I'm pretty sure everybody here has invested a lot of their maybe savings into the skin game. Obviously, no skins, no skills.
Oh,
that's
that's right.
skill shot, if anything, from Lenny.
Oh man, do you see the last one just flick over him? Lexi gonna be coming from the side, hiding in the smoke here. Maxi as well. This is a very smoke criminal coming from Maxi and Lenny as well. One of my does trade one out, but Maxi and Conqueror as well. Maxi with the 3K. Smoke criminal. How do you sing that song?
You've been struck by smoke,
Smoke criminal. That's
name is
Maxi
Maxi.
and Lenny.
Well,
Maxi, are you okay?
I mean,
are you okay?
yeah, he totally is. He's more than okay. He's looking pretty ferocious right now. They have to be livid with that because they just somehow let him basically wait in his own smoke, unchecked, unguarded, with a phantom in hand, suppress shots. No way you're gonna hear that in in all the confusion, all the kerfuffle. I think Bleed potentially match point because they should win this round against the Eco.
Yeah, that's right. Wanna fly, just waiting here. Darren can get that pick. It'll be one big pick out of the way, especially without those utils that can't do anything. Really like that Kadum wants to be playing the default here. They do love dropping the bomb in the backside there. That's usually how they play. But right now with that smoke on tree, it's so hard to tell. Is there someone inside there? Is there not? Are they gonna be as cautious as they were before? Because in case there's a random Max, he just pops out and says, "Peekaboo is a jack in a box here for you."
Well, you never know what you're going to be getting inside that Pandora's box. They have some notion that there was presence here towards mid, but how many exactly, which agents exactly have been playing there, that is what they're unaware of. The smoke of the jet here, the Cloudburst, will alert them. Not too sure. But that sheriff is coming
shots
from
as
him
well,
as well.
actually.
They definitely have some idea. There's somebody here. How many exactly is what they're really trying to find out about.
That's right. Another star will be used for that area. Kaboom gonna go in real fast and real hot onto the site. But immediately, look at that rolling thunder. Buying some time. Lenny sprays out right now. Gets the duel, but does not know there's a third one. And immediately, Kadoom says, that's my small friend now.
Well, he gets the right click. Could have used the left click since he wasn't looking the first place. Lockdown to be placed here, but perfect fragment. Not going to destroy it though. It's right out of the field of view. He doesn't able to see it. Darion gets that kill. Shock dart to try and confirm the kill on Alexi, and Myth, they're still somehow making this work out on the Eco. Swing around and Darion brings it to a 1v1. He's popped the blades of his own. Kadoom has expensed his. He's got the Onion to use, and that's the round done. Sealed in by Bleed. He pops the blade at the end just to make sure he can secure it. But I think all is granted. Bleed take the round, but it was very dicey. Could have gone the way of Myth there if they had a few more seconds to work with.
Yep, that's right. But Lenny is the man who is responsible for that Vera eSports clutch here. Darren immediately gets that. He did not see that coming.
Why did he peek? All he had is a stinger. His teammate was all the way on the back of the site. He could have just waited maybe there towards the logs or the switch entrance, the door entrance of market. But over-aggression, lack of discipline bites them in the end. And you're now going to have to play 2 perfect rounds just to bring us in overtime.
Yep, that's right. Bleed, the comeback is definitely real from them. And this is definitely the usual way they play. They're always a little bit late for that catch-up, but when they do, it's very, very scary. Darion not over-peaking here, just taking a less aggressive angle when you think about it. Very different than before. I think it's because earlier he was actually dying very, very early as well. He doesn't want to risk it again. But in a way, him staying alive will give a lot of benefit for his team. But now they do know that over at mid-side, Kadoom is still there where he usually is. And the rotates will be coming in But Darion gonna be staying here over in tree just in case something were to happen.
He's the only one here though, unsupported. Kadum is. And especially against the breach, that can be very difficult to try and fend off against. Here comes the Cosmic Divide to try and give him some space to work with and block off the angles on the defensive side. That stun's gonna keep him at bay. On the swing though, Conquer Red finds a kill to try and force him out with a fragment. But Alexi hiding behind the wall. They've spotted him going up there towards the market, barely able to cross. They have some idea that he is towards that market position, but do they know he's on the back of the site? One has been detained. They should be able to get the knife and the kill inside this. So potential almost looking like 24th round of this match.
Yep, that's right, but Darion finds Kadum in the air. Wanna fly. Gets Darion return with the gun will be used. But here comes the damage. Can't clear the area, but Wanna fly with that spray. Ooh, very painful. Getting 11 points now, 11 to 12. One more point and they go to overtime.
He believes he can fly. That is certainly looking like the right, I guess, mindset.
Oh my
he
god,
has to
feel bad for Lenny there.
Yeah, he was banking on hoping to maybe have a small gap where he can hide in, or perhaps, you know, them just not able to push in and him being able to hold down the site. But it just doesn't work that way. I think the right idea would have been to fall back instead, since they weren't able to destroy that lockdown. So final round here of regulation, 24, and the operator has come out already from Darion. He's been spied out with it though. They know the information of where he is, and that is gonna tag him up. He could potentially be dead right here. He has to pop the updraft just to get away. He successfully does, but luckily for him, he is an operator. Not able to land the shot here though on the push. And Lexi melts down. Myth, they find 2 kills, and both of the mistakes done by Bleed.
Yep, that's right. He just forced himself onto the aggressive Nano Swarm bot. But for now, Wannafly making sure there's no stragglers in the back. Thankfully, no one did peek deck, or else it'll be end the game for them. But it's looking very, very clean for Myth right now. They really want to make sure that Bleed doesn't take this game. However, Maxi gonna have to be careful. He does find Della in return. Gonna be watching together here. Gonna be clearing out the area, but Max is a little bit faster than Congaret, and suddenly it's all alone. And it's going to be cleared out that corner from Kadum. Wannafly as well. Kadum underneath as well. Pit cleared out. And that is the end of that. Kadum with 3k. So much damage from him.
Switching sides.
Kadum.
Overtime.
Bringing the doom here over Bleed. They have been flowing the Crimson Fluid ever since Bleed gave up those small moments, those small mistakes. Myth more than happy to try and capitalize on that and get back into the game. Lead switch against their favor, but they bring it down in the end with Kadum's triple kill, especially that previous round, round number 23, where on the back of the site, Myth were able to capitalize on once they got themselves within the B site itself. So overtime coming on in, Bleed on the attack this time, a side that they did kind of struggle with earlier on in the first half, but can they bring it here down once more? No operators on either side, as it looks like the early fight is going to be made here towards this A main position.
Yep, that's right. Kadum going to be playing a more aggressive stance here than before, with Bleed going to go and attack. For now, we know that Bleed tends to play a little bit more slow, especially after a reset. So how they're going to be playing this is going to come in from the pincer, coming in from A main as well as tree. Going to be walking in with the bot, but the fragment comes out. Not able to push through, and here comes the Conquest as well to clear the area. The sprays are coming in, but look at that. Conqueror and the rest of the team just fall back a little bit. They don't want to take any unnecessary risks, and losing them early potentially means that they might be losing the round. You know how painful it is when you kind of lose even a round, even this. For now, Lambot does spot him out. Conqueror waiting in the shadows. The same thing that Maxi did before. The sprays do come out, has to move away as he doesn't tag anyone.
No tags to be done. No bars to be set so far. All they have to do is win the round, no matter how they do it, no matter what the final economy is. Bleed are going to show that Myth are completely mortal here, and this Myth is certainly looking to be erased from the sands of time. Bleed really making them very, I guess, hampered on this retake with all this utility set in store. The 2v5, this is looking like a closed door for the round here. Myth potentially gonna have to play comeback to force us in a second overtime.
That's right. Wannafly does find Darion in return, but it's gonna get double heal. Lenny with gonna be trying as a 3k for Wannafly. There comes Lexi. Are you serious? Wannafly!
No way win this.
He can't fly, but Maxi playing from the side there will be taking this round. Round 25 goes to Bleed.
Two
What a play from Wanafly though.
Yeah, that was off of some ranked highlights thing. You know, that's a TikTok play if anything, but
For real.
almost gets it done there. Hopping in, look at this. One follows up with the second after shooting that. Two follows up the third and the fourth. Everything following his way. Classic right click. How many 4K clutches have we almost seen here today? Unfortunately, does not find the right timing or have the right read rather than where Maxi was. To potentially been an ace clutch for him, one for the ages, potentially the best clutch of this tournament, but it doesn't fall that way. As I said a while ago, it doesn't matter how they get the round. As long as Bleed wins it, they win it because it is overtime. So Economy will not move over to the previous round, rather to the next round right after. So Bleed, they take the round, they get it done. Too close for comfort. Myth, they're the ones who have to step up now.
I mean, a lot of the rounds between these two teams have always been too close for comfort. They'd almost lose at least 3 to 4 people during a win, or maybe they'll come in a situation where, you know, there's like one person alive with like maybe 10 HP left. There's just so many times this happens, and this happens to both teams. It just shows how both teams are just equally matched in terms of their style and gameplay. But when you look at this, Lenny, again, he really likes the big guns, wants to play on the aggressive right now, but look at the setups coming here from, I believe it's Pith. Yeah, I think it is. Hey, is that Pith? Oh no, it's Bleed. Yeah, it is Pith. But right now, Darion gonna go aggressive here. Darion likes doing this. He doesn't even care if he gets found out, even with the suppress. All he says is, I don't really need so much of this. All I need is my op just to get those picks. But look at where everyone is. They're just taking their time going toward A.
They're trying to slow the pace down. They know they cannot rush things here. They have to take things tactically, but Lenny's going to hold the fort down and get the spray through the door. That already hampers here the side of Myth, who do not have their Sova anymore. Conga Red taking down very low. The initiators here for Myth taking a beating. They got the plant down, but will they be able to hold it in the post? Bleed are looking pretty good for the retake.
Yep, that's right. Kadoom coming from the side here will be punished by Darion. Darion wants to take another one if he can. That smoke is just not giving him all the information he needs. Delan finds Lexi as well. Darion missing that, but Lenny has his back. Delan finds Lenny in return. Pit finishing off Delan as well. But Wanafly coming to the side, just waiting here, trying to make sure that he can find time to actually make something happen. Gets Pit in turn. And for now, Maxi as well. Oh my god! How? Wanafly, you are a... Oh my god!
He is online, getting the 4K, not the ace clutch on round number 25, but on 26, he brings it home, gets the triple kill at the end of it to get that clutch going. It seems like there were so many opportunities wasted for the Myth side. They keep them alive, a reality to be written down, kept in word here by Maxi. Rather, Wanafly.
It's not Kadoom that's making these miracles. What happened is Wanafly. He really wanted to fly with that beautiful spray. Just gets so many at once, winning him the game. Honestly, that shouldn't have gone to Myth at all.
It shouldn't have, but it has. Sometimes it isn't about the strategy, the tactics. It's about the big-time players making big-time plays, and Kadoom has found one. But the counter reconnaissance, the counter flick here as well, coming from Lenny to try and get that retaliation works out. They go 1 for 1. Alone Phil's taken down low, but luckily for them, he is at Sova. He's going to be playing on the back line a bit more, so he can still support and contribute to the fight from the outer edges.
Yep, that's right. So right now, Wanafly still playing the backline how he should play. He's just the Band-Aid clutcher at this point. Lenny trying to get some information out of it. The sprays are coming out from Lenny. Has to reposition. Shock darts do come out as well.
Well, almost doing good damage, but here they are rotating towards that A site. They have some notion here, Myth, that Bleed are coming their way towards the Alpha site. Here comes a fragment. Perfect molly to keep him at bay. He finds one before going down. Good job here by Conga Red. Straight out immediately, though. Stun will connect on the Dell end. He's being wary of that heaven position, but they're already towards Jenny. He finds the proper position, but cannot land the shot as Pith catches him on that swing. Down to a 2v3. Will there be even more heroics here from the Myth side? They're trapping towards the door. It's down to a 1v1, but he does not connect as Lexi gets both kills through the floor, and he brings them into another match point.
Switching sides.
Oh my god, these
Match
two
point.
teams are just going back and forth. When you think that Wannafly can't get crazier, he does it again and again and again. And this time around, they were just lucky enough that Lexi was the one able to kind of like clutch this. At the end of the day though, I think the biggest problem here isn't Kadoom. It's really just, it really is just Wannafly waiting in the backline trying to make big plays happen.
Remaining.
Oh, he gets spammed through the floor as well. The wall bang connecting. A timeout has been called here. I'm not too sure which team, but it is coming from Bleed. They won the round barely though. And all these overtime rounds, Tosh, have been bare wins, like just somehow scraping by with basically a 1v1 is really ending things. So they're as close as you can expect.
Yeah, that's right. And on top of that, I wouldn't say game style play is the same, but those initial first contacts coming in from Wannafly, I don't know what happened, but it seemed like the third eye kind of opened or something. As soon as OT came around, Wannafly was just stepping it up. He's only 1 kill behind Kadoom, who has been making such big impact in the beginning of the game, especially on attacking side. However, gonna be seeing Lenny this time drop the Odin for a proper Phantom this time. I want to make sure that he can actually land the shots instead of going for sprays right now, because when you think in terms of first contact, the Phantom as well as the Vandal will give a faster sort of first contact compared to the bigger, meaner gun.
Yeah, the Odins and Ares, they kind of take a bit to warm up and really get revving, and so you want that instant gunfight potential in your favor. That's why both Sovas here foregoing any notions of having an LMG into this one, taking AR instead. Moving their way up forward. These rifles that we talked about are going to have to come in crucial as they play contact. One of the things they're banking on is winning those opening duels, those opening picks. If they can't do that, then they're going to be hard pressed. They have made contact here towards mid, their position given away, and that pulls the defense here of Lenny to try and secure that position.
Yeah, that's right, but it looks like no one will be following up with that flash right now. Kadoom going to make his way through tree, but look at that concuss coming through, and Lenny is going to be finding a different way through, going to be rotating straight to A. They have an idea that they may be coming through tree. Pit going to wait here, gonna be suppressed immediately. The smokes do come out as well as the fragment and the nanosword bomb, buying them some time. For now, there's 3 people up here on Heaven. Has to be careful, but they do get caught out by the recon bolt. Wannafly watching the middle here. Darion tried to run away, but messes that up.
Barely gets the kill there. Thought for a second Darion might be able to swing back around and trade him, which does eventually happen coming from Maxi. Trade fellow friend. Down to a 4v4 retake potential possible. Lots of utility here coming from Lexi for the Bleed side to secure this, but they're taking their time with it. They're prepped now to go. They know Jenny is a heavy position. They deny that 0 point from popping, and his stun is huge. He's going to probably confirm the kills, and they are going to be able to do that. But on hell, Lexi cleans him up, and Lenny does the same as Bleed eSports take map number 1 away at second overtime, 15-13.
Yep, that's right. Very close game. It's just barely by the skin of teeth. Even for this one, it could have gone both ways. It's just a matter of fact that they were caught off guard mid, and immediately the pincer.
But at the same time, still allowing synergies between compositions and agent utility.
Yep, that's right. From what we see just now, Lexi has been very great at giving those flashes as well, Concuss, giving that space so that Darion can go onto the site as well. I love that synergy between the two, because we did talk about how in the beginning we saw some teams running the breach, but they're not necessarily running together with the rest of the team. Some shock darts out here. No one taking so much damage from that. We are seeing those trades, but Bleed this time playing on the aggressive. Kadoom does get picked out of the way and will be punished as well, but Lexi gonna be trading that out as well. But Congred has his teammate Congred with the flash playing on the aggressive. You can see that Maxi trying to go out of the way, but you can see Wannafly as well playing on the aggressive, helping his teammate, and you can see the double swings coming from both teams, making sure that trades are going to be at least even.
Nicely done here from Myth to win those gunfights, but misfortune falling on Bleed's hands. Maybe 3 seconds later or so, if they'd been able to set themselves under that window, and the flank would have been a lot better.
Wanna
An aggressive
fight?
push.
Come on.
But WannaFly closes out the round and get the opening pistol.
I'm not too sure what's going on here. After I said that he just went online during OT, I feel like that momentum has not left him. He got how many kills this time around? He was just going with the sprays like crazy, and he's been really getting that. While Bleed was the one who caught them off guard, I don't really understand how they were punished for it in the end. I think it's just because the fact that it seemed more aggression from Myth rather than Bleed, who tried to reposition themselves instead of just going on the aggressive as well.
Well, those qualms can be fixed and changed as the match progresses with a Ghost. Lone Phils finds that opening pick into Maxi, and Darion's been tagged on quite low. They do not have the benefit of getting healed up, so they don't have a Sky nor Sage on their side. So they can always dip back out, get themselves energized, and basically patched up for the next fight.
Yeah, that's right. They do have Broccoli Girl. Yeah, that's right. They do have Broccoli Girl though from the side of Myth. Yes, we were just talking about that. I'm gonna keep her calling her Broccoli Girl. I'm so sorry, but Kadum tag out Lenny before finally ending him. Ooh, Kadum playing it real dangerous here. Does eat up that concuss. We do get a trade from that. Kadum, Pith, as well as Congarite gonna be seeing a trade. Dylan does get Pith in return after losing 2 though. Becky in the back there, gonna be caught out clean from Myth, taking on number 2.
You have just demoted Sky from being cool girl with animal summoning powers into broccoli lady, basically.
I'm so sorry, but those little flowers around her when she heals just really reminds me of the yellow broccoli flowers that sometimes I get from the supermarket here. Can't blame me for that. Also, broccoli is my favorite vegetable, so don't mess.
Really is. It's a fancier vegetable, I think.
It is fancy. Also kind of expensive right now in the supermarket. Around 3. You see their full buys here from the side of Bleed.
You know,
but they
it is
do
for
have
sale
their...
though, Tosh. All these specters that seemingly Myth
You
want to
can run a
continue
gun.
to use.
Look at this.
Look at this. I bet he's gonna just swing wide, hold mouse 1, and maybe get a kill from
Press
it.
W.
Let's go, Kadum.
Here.
Press
We're
W.
banking on it.
Here.
Press W and just... Oh, no, he got flamed!
Oh, he got 2!
Kadum still wins it! The power of the Spectre.
Yeah,
The power of the Spectre.
yeah, the flash was right behind him, so he was naturally able to dodge it, not get affected by it. It actually works out in the end. Bleed did not expect him to be that close, and sometimes the Spectre is even more dangerous than a rifle would be in that range.
Look at that.
Oh, confirmed.
Yep, that's right. They got a free gun out of that though, but right now Bleed bleeding so badly right now. It's 2-3, still winnable, but the thing is, number-wise, they don't have any information. Gravity Well does come online. Has to be careful here. The kind that like that, Dylan knows that I am the Astra. With the Gravity Well, I will win it.
Spike planted.
To the peak there, getting caught out. It's all in the Maxi. Gonna be expecting to come from CT. Now Storm's gonna land right behind him, pushing towards the hell, but Graffiti is where he's gonna be painted on the ground. As Myth, they make the bonus work out. They can potentially continue this momentum.
Here.
This is just so good. How is that even possible? He played it so close, and I think that was the idea. They do have Spectres, and the Spectres do work a lot better, especially from close range. And on top of that bonus round, they won that. They also got free guns as well. Their economy is looking so good. Look at that. They have so much money. They have 4K, 3K, 2K. Bring in the next round.
Well, they can make this expensive, as we always like to say, then this could be a worthwhile round for them to make. Oh my goodness, Kadum flicking real hard on the Maxi, not even giving him a chance.
The shadows may have molded him, but Kadum was born in shadows. Just copying you.
Molded part. Nobody ever cared to that pull on the mouth.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a very good impression.
Thank you. I do not work on it.
Oh wow.
That was on the fly.
Right. I really gotta say though that Haven is just a lot more convincing from Myth, especially in this first 3 rounds. They know how to set the tempo, set the pace. Really keeps Bleed kind of wondering how to play this. Should we go aggressive? Should we wait? How should we play this?
Remains to be seen. This Eco get like 2 kills maybe. This could be a worthwhile round. Shares just don't connect. It don't work out for anybody here. Pith, the only one left. Another sheriff here to be played out,
30
but
seconds left.
this is looking like a potentially flawless round from the Myth side. Let Bleed, we're hoping to make it expensive, but those investments just never really work out in Bleed's favor.
Oh, he does get one out of that, but had to reload. Deadline gonna end it, but at least he got a kill out of that.
Well, at the very least, finds one, but I think they were really banking for more. This is a round they have to win, though. They've got that loss bonus at the very least here. 4 rounds, but will that continue on further?
One enemy remaining.
Have to put a stop to this, as we said. Defensive side can be a bit more difficult here on the Haven side. Haven map is to try and put a plug into things, but they're gonna have to do it now, because if they go 5-0, this could be a runaway half. This could be a runaway half from the Myth side. Something they do not want to give up this early, especially even if they have that map advantage.
Yeah, more aggressive area, but Lenny caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Why?
The cookie jar rather being the ulti. No one's supporting him as well, and he knows that Kadum likes playing those aggressive angles. I think this comes down to tilt perhaps, because this is a very bad decision making from Lenny as well. I know he really wants that Hunter's Fury to make something happen, but that was not a play.
Yeah, and if you're gonna go for it, do it supported. Have one player maybe watch you or guard you, throw some utility out, drone it out, or hell, throw your recon bolt out or for something.
Yeah, which I was very surprised because Kadum is always there. You know he's gonna be there. On top of that, Wannafly with a double pit to stop that happening, but Wannafly has a 3K right now. Pit tried to make something happen here, but it's Darion all alone. Darion has an op. The Broccolis will be chasing from behind. Sorry, Seekers. Gonna see the right name for that. Right now, Darion's running for his life. Does not want to give up the op, but he has 30 seconds. And 30 seconds in Valorant feels like a long time.
He does have an operator. I think the most he can really hope for here are exit frags. If they end up pushing his position, this really can be super difficult to try and retake, especially alone with an operator here against multiple targets. You lose, you miss one shot, pretty much done for. It's gonna be very difficult to try and take multiple quick engagements, so all he can do is save up. Could get the pick here in the Conga Red. Spots his barrel out. That's that kill on the exit, but ultimately another round won here by Myth. Really capitalizing on the mistakes.
Is coming from the back?
Swarm grenade out.
Trying to rotate all the way into garage. I think he is expecting that they're going to fall back towards maybe that ceiling position later on. But
Darion's pretty much ready for it though.
Yeah, he's more than happy to wait here towards the spawn.
Yeah, but he's gonna be able to get away with that. At least saving the op this time around. But let's have a look at this again.
Stay down.
That's the hand in the cookie jar that we talked about. But Wannafly here, they just catch them off guard. What a nasty angle. Thank God. Pith nearly gets him down there, but still gets a 3K. Very worth it, I feel.
Yeah, Pith falling off of the ledge real quick, just kind of
surprised
shook
no
his aim up.
crossfire there. I mean, there were like 3 people. Why is no one watching that side?
Yeah, they were all looking towards window for some reason. Nobody really watching out the walkout. And as I said, you know, these minuscule mistakes with big implications and big, I guess, ultimately bad outcomes have been happening over and over for Bleed in this round, and those kind of mistakes are just really going to kill them time and time over.
Yep, that's right. Kadum will be the one given the bomb this time round. It's always so funny when they give it to duelists. Conga clearing a garage for them, knows that it's clear. But here comes the Hunter's Fury that Lenny really wanted. Does tag one person, which is Conga Red. It doesn't really matter. Here comes the Cosmic Divide as well. He gonna be where they want to play it at as well. But Kadum not able to plant anything. Look at how much utilities were used to chase him off the site. Ooh.
Deploying drone.
This Cosmic Divide keeps him at bay. Owl Drone will spot a tag here, and the Cosmic Divide has expired. Consequences taking a bit too long. Walking their way perhaps in the garage, but they're all stacked up here. They don't have much other control elsewhere. Long is being held down by Darion, so they don't really have much time to make this work, Tash.
Yep, that's right. For now, Kadum gonna be clearing out A-Link as well. But here the shots coming along fields. Does find Lenny in the backside here. The plant's gonna happen, and here comes the aftershock. Hoping to stop that from happening. But the lockdown is available. Lexi finds Stella in the end, but it's gonna be the same thing again. We're gonna be seeing both Killjoys go crazy, but here comes the Conquest, finds one, but he got distracted here, gets punished for it. Suddenly, Alonefield's waiting for Darion here, barely gets tagged out, by the way. That's really dangerous, but looking great for mid though. Still 4 players up.
Yeah, Bleed, they're looking lost here. I think it might be about time to call a timeout after this round. Pith
They really
gets a
need to shake it
kill.
off.
Yeah, they have to find some way to shake it off because everything, all the weight on their shoulders have just not been lifted so far. And a 6-0 start for Myth is looking very dominant right now for the Thailand squad.
Yeah, this is exactly why they say they're Kings of Haven. They've played this map so much during this tournament. Well, there are some matches where they come really close on this map, but they are more dominant in terms of how they want to play attack, know where to take care of. And here we go, the timeout that you called out, by the way, Black and Blue. I'm not too sure how exactly is going on. I think it's in terms of frags. Pit is doing real good. But as for Maxi and Len, it seems like they're just not able to shake off whatever tilt they had from the last game, perhaps.
Just very, very difficult for them to even find their footing in this match. Seems like Tosh. Myth a 6-0 start. Bleed. It can be difficult to try and win defensive rounds on Haven, yes. But this is a map that I think was rightly picked by Myth, knowing how Bleed have been basically having a rough patch when it comes to their Haven relationship.
Yeah, to them, Haven is definitely hell. They do not like this map. A lot of times they play this map, it hasn't been real good for them. But personally, they can just play retakes. They don't have to put so much utilities just to stop things from happening. Especially on B, where it's okay. I mean, retaking isn't as tough as C, I believe.
Here, turn out.
It can be, especially if the operator is geared there. That's where it is a site. A short is where Darion's looking to peek. Nobody giving themselves away, but he does have information that a bit towards his left or towards long. Congo Red will be waiting. Let's Trailblazer loose. That's going to force him back from that forward position.
Yep, that's right. And that's so much space needed to just move them out of the way. And that's the power of having a flash, as well as the Trailblazer from the side of Myth. Gotta say, how they play with a Sky or even a KO is definitely crazy. I mean, scary. You did see one of the players did get tagged, but immediately gonna be recalling that star, hoping to deter Darion, but that's not gonna be the problem. He's not the type to get bamboozled.
Nor easily dissuaded. But Myth taking
might be punished for this. This is very, very aggressive, and there's 2 of them there if you think about it. And look how many.
This Aldron's gonna spot them out, Tosh.
Yep, that's right.
It gives them away. Knowing that, they still hold on to the sewers. They have to be careful because they can be flanked from behind. Here comes down the Hunter Spirito to keep them still in that sewer and make sure they don't come out.
He does find one in the end.
He still gets the kill. The Congo Red and Kadum, they answer right back.
Ooh, look at that spray just now. Very aggressive from Kadum. Pete from the back gets a double. Very nicely played. And right now, Wannafly is all alone. 1 versus 3 situation. But Wannafly can make this work. They do have an information. Heard some shots there coming in from sewers. Tries to make it work. Gets 1, but Pete will be stopping the rampage. 3K for him. But lost so many in return.
Very tight round, but fortunately, as soon as Darion went down there towards sewers, because of the fact they didn't find information, all they knew was that there was an op in towards short. They didn't know that Pith was still there. He was able to go get them on the flank, find 2 kills immediately. Will Bleed into the round win. So Bleed barely scraping by, but they finally get something going.
The last time I saw Bleed play, I think it was this same lineup for the side of Haven. I cannot remember whether it was on APAC or Malaysia Singapore server. However, Pit was always the one playing Lurker for this map, and it worked out pretty well. Sorry, not this map, sorry, Ascent. He loves playing Lurker on Ascent, and it worked out really well for them. And I'm really hoping I can see Pith play that again, because just now was very, very nicely played by him.
He really is Such a great player. Both of the Sentinels on either side actually near the top of the scoreboard for either team. You got Pith at 10, Wannafly at 7. They've been very, very reliable. Lockdown though, neither available, but there is the blades for either side, and they do have that From the Shadows ultimate of Maxi on his Omen, which a lot of people think, you know, it's necessarily for like repositioning yourself, like maybe going from A to B real quick, but it can also be used as an information gathering tool. A lot of players like to use that Omen to TP like into the back of the site or something, just to find information for the execute and then back off. So that could be one way of using this utility of theirs, especially knowing that Myth are a team that do like to kind of cut that noise and deny information.
Hunger Red.
Oh.
Barely misses him.
He tags him.
Oh, he does get him just a little bit though. It's barely a scratch when you think about it. But for now, because of those repeated op shots, they are not going to be aggressively pushing this. Has to be careful. He only has 10 bullets total. Has to move away. Gets tagged by the recon ball, and his location has been shown. But now Lenny gonna buy some time there with the shock dart, continuing just buying and waiting for time. They do have Lexi on the site. Darian playing from hell, trying to see if anyone dares to even go on the aggressive, but look at that, flashes come through. Kadum gonna follow through as well. Lexi gonna be trading that out. At least they got their main fragger out of the way. Lexi's still waiting on side, but looks like no one is coming out of the way, and he eats that nano swarm bot.
He's gonna have to feast a bit more on the gooder stuff, because the utility here for Bleed
30 seconds left.
Poised to repel them. And the position of Maxi, ready to do the exact same thing. He spots one. He's gonna let more walk by. He finds it first, but not the second. Could have potentially gone for more. It's down to a 2v3. But Piff coming in from behind catches him off guard. The garage is his, parking it and making sure they cannot escape
10 seconds
too easy.
left.
Battle of the cages. Wannafly says
oh, that was perfect. He won the round.
And now look at that, they're running out of time. Wow. That is the power of a breach. Lexi just buying time, running for his life now. Doesn't want to go down, wants to keep his gun.
Perfect utility usage there, and heads up play coming from Lexi. The stun made it so that the time was very, very close. And just to make sure he secured the round,
10 seconds
puts
left.
in the aftershock on the default plant spot, not going to let him get that plant safely. So very perfectly played here, coming in from Bleed. And this could be potentially where they continue, rather pick up from when they last left off on Haven. We saw them in Haven kind of slow on their start, but once again, slowly accelerating, gaining velocity, momentum here in the match.
That's a lot of utilities used so early from both teams. The problem right now is, you see Bleed, they just don't want they don't want to have anything. They don't want even for them to get onto the site. But now though, we are gonna be seeing Alonefields playing this corner here. Has to be careful because there is Lexi. He can make life very difficult with the aftershock if he wants to, especially on those corners. Delan trying to put all those stars in, and Kadum trying his best to make as much space as he can. Gonna try and crouch in, but Alonefields misses that shock dart just now, but Lexi gonna find Kadum in the smokes as it goes down. But look at that aggressive nanoswarm part in the back there, trying to zone out as many people as possible.
Well,
Spike planted.
2 to 6. With those opening picks, they can start to make their way back into the game.
Oh, is it a lineup?
That is going to connect. Yeah, it should be able to destroy. Actually, no, he's missed it. It's on the wrong side of it. He's not able to destroy the lockdown. Just too much to the left side. And so that will have 2 players detained as well. Great lockdown usage here. Coming from Bleed on the retaker, sticking the defuse. Not able to actually get it all the way through. Do get the half. And here come the Seekers out the barely in the nick of time. He's diffused in their face. Perfect retake coming from Bleed. They clean up House Smith in the end. As Conga Red gets 4, but the damage has been done.
He really said, bros don't fake. He does not care. But I'm just surprised there were no sprays coming in through that.
Turret out.
I'm at a loss right now. I can't believe he got away with that.
Yeah, he probably wanted to secure it. I mean, that was the best option there. It was half diffused. They know they were isolated. So sticking it, having 3 seconds to yourself is all he needed, and that's what he did to secure the round.
That's right, on the red, clearing out this area. Darion putting a very aggressive air plays there. He does get tagged a little bit, I believe. Or not quite. I can't really tell just now. Either way, it did reposition Darion out of the way, which is exactly what they want. And now they can move away to either a different spot, which they usually do. And this is what we talked about this morning as well, about how free rotations that we're going to be seeing from Myth. They said they're not true. They call it freewheeling, rather, what Raph would say, where they don't really have to worry too much. And where they want to go can be achieved by so many different areas, which is what Myth has. For now, Pit from the side there catches Dylan, but Kadum will be trading out, but Maxi has his friends back. That was the Rolling Thunder just now. Immediately, Myth has no time. That 50 seconds left, has to clear the site. Lexi gonna be finding a different way onto the site, making sure that Garage is clear. There is one side there. Congregate from the side here. They know that Maxi's there. The sprays come through. Playing it real safe. Not gonna peek when you don't have to, but Lexi, he did not expect him to be there.
Great kill from Lexi. Alone Phil's plugging in that hole as well, making sure they aren't just left to dry. 3v2, the retake, very possible, but they catch him off guard. 1v2 though here, Tosh. It's on the WannaFly once more to give us some great heroics.
That's right. Right now, those sprays come through from WannaFly, but this is one of those times where WannaFly just can't fly, cannot get these multi-kills that he got from earlier.
over.
Almost. He cannot land the shots. As you said, you know, he was able to find the timing on Darion, lurking there towards mid, but unfortunately cannot find any much more. As Bleed secure the round. They're slowly crawling back. 4 rounds now. They've strung in a row after losing 6 to the opposing side.
Yeah, Bleed definitely needs that heat, but I was surprised that Darion wasn't checking his corners. But the thing is, because Darion fell down there, they had all the information they need, that it is likely that he'll be coming in from long or even garage. One of those places is where they were trained for. Either way, 4 to 6 will be the one, and we were very worried for Bleed just now because they went 5-0 for a long time before they finally found their footing.
Well, see now.
Late bloomers.
Perhaps. Hey, I think lots of people in chat are affected.
Sounds like my mom and me.
Oh,
When
no.
is Tash gonna finally get a bit late, but I did end up getting it when I was 10. But for now, Fungared, try and get some information with his flash, does not get it. But they all know that Darion is definitely aggressive on A. That's always where he's been.
I still haven't grown a beard. What does that make me?
A never bloomer.
When will I bloom? No bloomer boomers.
Oh my god. I'm actually surprised that Darion is not taking proactive steps to change up where he is all the time. Either way,
Oh! What?
Kadum will be outgunning him. He already knows. And that's why
Kill.
I meant before, you can't do the same
Spike
thing over and
down.
over
Doing
again.
this.
That's a double for him. Really.
2 kills with the Hunter's Fury.
Very
Also
worth
basically
it.
no info aside from knowing they're in towards
30
lobby.
seconds left.
Maybe kind of jitteriness there from Darion, you know, kind of jiggling left and right, back and forth.
Ooh, look what Maxi is. Shocked out will be
Could
coming
be.
through. Does he eat that damage? Oh, he didn't.
Oh, Maxi, he's hopped up. They hurry him, but he gets a spray through to connect on the WannaFly, doing some damage on the lone fields as well.
10
Cannot land
seconds
the
left.
shots, ducks right under it,
Enemy
but this is going to be denied here because of the
Spike down,
utility
C.
and by Pith. It's on the Kadum, but he knows this round is done. They're about to face their doom here because 5 rounds straight now. Bleed have strung, and Myth, they're the ones really struggling to finally get their place.
That's
Last
a
round
very
before the
perfect spray, I have to say. For this situation, like what on earth just happened? But I really gotta give it to Lexi. He really knows how to play with his team when it comes to using his utilities. Remember when I asked you guys, how can a breach be relevant on maps? How do you work with him? And you have to move his utility. He got very distracted by the fact that Lexi had put his aftershock through the wall there. He was looking the other way, and suddenly Pit swings from the other side. And now suddenly, I want to be a breacher.
Well, this breach of theirs will have to come in huge. They do have that ultimate on the Maxi and the opposing side. Lots more ultimate economy in the favor of Myth that they can really pour into this round to secure this final attacking side. Maybe end it at least 7-5 and not completely lose all hope of momentum.
want to
On this
find it.
Fury, lockdown and Cosmic Divide, very, very high impact ultimates that they can utilize
Deja
here.
vu.
And they
We've
do get
seen
the plant
this
down.
happen before. Remember
Yes,
what
we
happened?
have.
It didn't work last time.
But
Well,
this
let's see
time
if it
around,
is.
though, Tosh, they've got lots more ultimates to try and make it work out.
Oh, for real. I do agree with you. On top of that, the rotations were a little bit late
What?
here, but look at that! How on earth did that happen? Kadum goes down, but thank God
Oh!
to the...
One enemy
It's
remaining.
5 HP left for Wannafly. Does get double on that for finally Dylan. Does catch Lenny off guard. Lexi does get caught here. He will be found by Congaret. Looks down. As for his doom, kind of similar to closing your eyes before you die, I suppose.
He's hoping, I guess, to
Switching
kind of
sides.
duck behind the barrel, but there simply ain't enough cover, bro. One game.
He's a big man. There's nothing that barrel can do to hide you.
It's like, you know, when your dog or your cat tries to hide from you, so all they hide is their head, but the rest of their body's sticking out under the bed.
Oh yeah,
Pretty much
same
what
thing.
happened.
That was just perfectly played. Look at that. Hi.
No.
When you look at the other side, it's actually a lot more funny. It's
Quite
like when
comical.
you, yeah, quite comical. It's kind of like what Davai brought here to the APAC, how he was really good with the pop flashes on the sky. There's so many instances where he doesn't pop it, and everyone's just looking at the wall. And he's like, "What are you looking at, my good sir?"
He really is a maestro of those fake flash tricks up his sleeve. Look at this,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Both killjoys at the top of the board.
Yeah, we all have to say, we Sentinel mains, you know, just low key. Suddenly we're on the top of the charts, you know.
Sometimes it's more about what you do than what you say. Very loud, maybe pronounced. Some of these duelists might come across, but it's a backline that does bring lots of value to the team. Many times over, a lot of teams like to place one of their best riflers or reliable players on that sentinel role because of them basically having so much more clutch potential, which we've seen from both Pith and Wannafly this entire series.
Yeah, that's right. There is actually a player here in Malaysia's Singapore server from Todak. The Viper main used to be a duelist, but love how he uses his utilities more for an aggressive sort of play rather than a defensive. It really changes the way you play an agent, depending on how aggressively you want to play it. But if you put like a duelist maybe on, you know, an agent that is more team-based or team-oriented, you'll see something more of like a Sky. The flash is more, more selfishly used rather than to help the team. Either way though, both teams, 5 and 7, I'm actually quite surprised at how Bleed is able to come back from a very, very bad state, like 5-0 all the way to a 5-7.
Well, they're very mentally sound team, which is something...
Untiltable.
Maybe not untiltable, everybody has their breaking point, but they're at least very good at weathering that and trying to avoid it, which we talked about could be a part of them having these, I guess, experienced, important players. It does help their case on out. Here comes out the Trailblazer though to find information on the
Oh
clip
my
here.
god!
Coming from Pith
Pith
and coming
has his
towards
team's
this position.
back!
Pith, man, finds 2 kills to try and deny them of that aggression.
Oh my god, this is not looking good for mid. Too aggressive right now, Maxi. Surviving by the skin of his teeth, 22 HP. And this is exactly what they wanted. And Myth fell straight for it. And Lenny was simply the bait.
So unfortunate for Myth because the last 3 remaining players from Bleed were all a single bullet away from death. Just cannot confirm it.
But right now we have seen situations that Bleed does get, you know, full rifles and rounds and they still lost. So I'm a bit worried for them, not gonna lie, even if they have better guns than made in Thailand. After all, we've seen what Kadum can do with the Frenzy, the Ran and Gan, the mini Ran and Gan rather. So it can be really scary. Either way though, Pith gonna go an aggressive here to the side of Garage, and we do have Darion here, trying to make sure there's anyone playing behind bricks.
You find that info?
No info, no one's moving. Steve.
It's moving. Everybody just coming to a halt here, making sure that they cut the noise and don't give over too much that they wouldn't otherwise want the opposing side to know. It's Aldron though to try and find that information that we're trying to deny So somebody's gonna have to swing here, otherwise they're gonna get checked.
Oh, he
straight
didn't
up.
clear the
he
corner. Oh, he
spots
knows
the
he
foot.
sees the leg. Yeah, he does spot the leg out.
Shock there, but he's not gonna expect there to be two, I bet.
Oh, that's
So
a
he
lot
does
of damage though.
hella damage here in Deland.
Yeah, Deland probably crying right now. Gonna be peeking together. Does not get anyone out of the way. Outgunned by a classic. That is the worst. Now Darion gonna quickly go toward a C site right now. Immediately runs inside. For now, Maxi gonna play through the shadows here. Spots out. Waterfly does not care for the turret at all. Immediately gonna put out as many smokes as he can. Just trying to buy some time for his team, at least for the plant.
4v4 retake. Myth, make it expensive. Play the long game. Don't even have to go for the retake here. All they have to do is even just wait for the exit frags to potentially come their way. But Pith, he's on the hunt. He knows he doesn't want to let it come down to that. And so he's coming in from behind them, try and pincer them on in, maybe farm them just a bit with the weapons they got. Spraying through the smokes, denies the defuse from continuing on. Pith, though, none the wiser, did not know that Alone Fills finds two somehow with a classic. Falls back, brings it to a 2v2, but there's no way they're gonna clutch this. No time. Unless they defuse in his face.
Oh, they're still going! They might do it! Yes, they do!
Oh, how does he do it? They stuck it! And at that range, the Spectres could not make it happen.
Exactly. I was actually quite surprised they want to go and take care from long when they planted all the way in the back. That is when decision making actually really matters.
They planted all the way super deep on back site and played C long while only having Spectres. They did have a Bulldog and they would have the range advantage because they were going up against pistols, but it's a loss that shouldn't have happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For now, here comes the Shark Dart. Gonna try and clear the area. Kadoom playing in the smokes here can be a double-edged sword that we talked about just now. Sprays are gonna be coming in from that side. But it looks like they're not going to be committing to that because they do have to walk through their own smokes if they want to go onto site.
And you can kind of tell that, you know, Bleed, they did have some intent of potentially going towards B. They dip into A, make some presence there, but the Shock Dart at the start of the round was thrown to clear the utility, and that's what it did. Destroyed all of the nano swarms and alarm bots here. That allows them to potentially move on forward. Darion gets that pick because of the great utility usage coming in from Bleed, and Lexi's going to answer back. Pith brings it down and trades off of Kadoom for the 3v2 as Wanafly answers back with a Phantom. They know not to oversaturate themselves in this fight, but off of the flank, Maxi's behind him. Will they even expect him to be here? Yes, they do. They catch him off guard. 2v2 now, 1v2 as they bring it all in the Pith to try and make some heroics happen.
There is a gun there that he can pick up. Will he switch it out? Yes, he will. For now, he is very aware that Delan's gonna be there. Delan's the rat and gun is just a little bit faster rather than a rifle.
So possible for them to steal that round away. They had man advantage, but fights just never working out for them. The 3v2 getting isolated. That brings Myth around further, closer to match point. Bleed, though, things are looking good for them, I think I have to say, because that eco round looked pretty close. So what more now when they've had the rifles and they've kind of warmed up into the game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. On top of that, Bleed is just... I think they're pretty okay with this situation, where they can just come back with better guns and better rifles. But the question is, can they win it? Now, Shock Darts to clear the area for now as well. Concussors coming out. Wanafly takes a lot of damage, by the way, from those sprays. And this nanobot will be the one to stop them from getting onto Garage, at least to rush in. For now, the flashes do come out just in case. It looks like no one will be holding Garage for yet, but we do see that right outside, Kadoom is pretty much trained and ready. He does have an op though. Darion will be his first victim. For now, he trains his sights on too long. No one there. He decided, okay, maybe we might be seeing a rotation happen.
Well, Myth, they find the opening pick. Darion's been struggling this entire series. That seems to continue to ring true. Could be potentially looking at the third map, which we did kind of expect to happen between these two teams. definitely staying really close.
Oh
Tag out
my
here,
god,
Dash is forward, but
Kadoom!
he gets the job done at the very least. Lenny makes his way into the site, opening up a Conquer Red. He follows up with Kadoom as
30
well.
seconds left.
5 HP, no problem. He is gonna be
They're all low.
trying to do this. Oh my god! Nearly walks into that shock dart, and right now they have to play super safe. Butterfly does have half HP left, but Lone Fields is pretty much full. Pit making sure that from the back no one's gonna be here. Gets a pick onto Dylan, and immediately Dur don't know where exactly these players are. Shock dart does come out, does get him. They do have the lockdown coming down. Lone Fields with a jump shot does get Lexi as well. There is still Pith. There is the lockdown. They can play for time if you want to. And they might be thinking that he may be... Actually, no, they are pretty much aware that he might be coming from here. Does get spotted out there by the recon. So easily. They're going to get the off as well as the winners round. Round 10. 10 points. Going to go to Myth right now. 6-10.
Greatly done here by Myth. 3v2 and every single player remaining from Bleed were super low. A single bullet or sneeze would have done him in. That's exactly what happened. Getting the first with a shock dart on Eleni, just cleaning up house afterwards, which was what was at the remaining for the Bleed side. So Kadoom opened things up. Could have found a second, but hey, he's done his job. Actually a third rather, but he did his job as I said. And the rest of Myth, they knew how to clean this up.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like in terms of that rotation from Pith and his teammates as well might be a little off. They could be moving together rather than just playing on their own, leaving Pith just alone at the back there. The way Conquer Red will be concussed but will not be punished for it. Right now he's just trying to get as much information as he can. Bully just not able to find all of that, but Recon Bot does come out. Aggression coming out from Darion, finds Conquer Red, but Kadoom will be finding Lexi in return. Darion will be really happy getting a gun. Right now, 85 HP. He does still have the blades. He can switch out as much as he wants later. For now, they're gonna have no problem getting the plant on. Lenny will be the one to do that with the nanos from Bart, buying them some time.
Nice shot here from Kadoom. He falls back, but ultimately does go down. 3v2, the retake from Myth, and they work out.
Oh my god!
Front, but he does not get a single kill. Darion, he gambled for it, and oh no, Maxi walks into the circumference of it, walks into the area of effect, and gets himself detained. It's all the Pit.
He gets
stops it. He denies it, but now Maxi has the proper timing. He has a proper position to make it happen as well. He has called the bluff. It was pinged, and now he's gonna go on the swing, and he gets the clutch anyways at the end of it. Maxi, even with the misfortune, finds very lucky timing at the end of things to bring it 7-10 for Bleed.
I was about to get a heart attack for him just now. Why? Let's have a look at that again. Darren coming through. But if you see that, I mean, he does get that pick. Either way, Lexi does go down first. But I really liked how the kids rotated in that. Gets one. Gets treated out. But look at that. They didn't expect Maxi to be coming from this side here. And the timing from the Astra smoke really, really helped him as well.
Really did. Ultimately, I guess somehow everything happens for a reason, and that worked out for him. Ping on Darion. He's taking an aggressive stance here towards long. Never mind, backs on out the Aldrone. You continue to force him back even more so here. Myth gambling on this A side stack.
That's right, Maxi gonna be running straight onto C. But you do have Butterfly waiting in the corner there, but Paranoia does come out, but you don't see him over there. Butterfly much ready, but he'll be getting flashed, and Maxi immediately runs and guns him, mows him down, as well as Conqueror as well. For now, they don't have the better guns, giving them this advantage, as well as the round. There is still Kadoom. He only has a classic. He does have the knives, though. It will be enough if he's able to play his cards right.
Cards are on the table. He knows what he's got to do. Kadoom.
That trade.
Adieu, Lexi says. 3 kills in the round, 8-10. This is looking like a small playpen that Bleed are really fumbling about in, because while they're struggling to really do things cleanly, still getting the job done in the end. 8-10, slowly crawling back into the fight. But once more, Kadoom has an operator in his hands, and this is where Myth have looked the most deadly.
Yep, that's right. I am just so surprised. If things go the same way as last time, we may be seeing another overtime. I wouldn't be surprised. Either way though, immediately recon dart out, and we're gonna see a very, very fast-paced movement here from Bleed. Darren does get spotted out. They do have an idea. Tries to do the cheeky jump. Peeks here, but Lenny gonna be finding out there is someone in sewers. Does not spot out this guy, but decides not to go for it after all. Pith finds the bot here. I don't know that Della is in the back of the site. Immediately, here comes the Rolling Thunder, clearing out the area. Darion on the aggressive, finding someone in the back there will be Pith. Hunter's Fury as well does not tag anyone just yet.
Hunter's Fury comes on now, but a spray down from WannaFly. He wants to make things fly. He wants his score to go up as well. But Piff, he's going to try and hold things down. Not able to find anything more. Alone Phil's trying to make things happen. It's down to a 2v3. You can see the last two players from Bleed here kind of slice on over the garage, but they get filtered by Conger Red down. 8-11 Myth. Every time they have the operator in the hands here of Kadum, they just make Bleed a lot more, I guess, wary of going for the pushes, and that does stifle their attack a lot.
I'm just so curious. WannaFly's sprays have been absolutely insane. He just sprayed and prayed and just gets rewarded with 2. And every time he does it, he just makes it look so good with so much benefit. If WannaFly did not get those, I think that I would have easily went to Bleed.
Placing swarm grenade.
8-11 here, Tosh. Lockdown, ready for Pith to use in case they need that added clearance, that added control. Spraying through the garage wall himself here. WannaFly knows he does not want this overstay his welcome. Going for kind of a C split. They have taken control of garage. The only player there towards long is going to be Lenny with a Sova. So the rest of them kind of spreading out. That alarm bot's going to give him away.
knows. Have to be careful. Flash does come out though, but no commits just yet.
No charges left.
They know they can't just overcommit a bit too early.
You should
so
run.
to try and buy the time, lockdown has been placed. They have to guard it though, because it can be destroyed for the window. But as soon as this thing expires, they're gonna be able to make their way in.
Yep, that's right. The lockdown does get destroyed from the defender's side, which is Myth, so they don't have to worry too much. Attacker Killjoy does not get anyone detained, but it does give them all that space they need to kind of position themselves onto the site. We are seeing 2 players there coming in from Silong, as well as they're pretty much aware that there's going to be coming in from 3 different areas. No one coming in from long though, but it may change thanks to WannaFly and Kadum once again doing Kadum things. Gets one out of the way. WannaFly finds Maxi, but the thing is, we are not going to be seeing anyone else. Delan finding Lexi. It's only a 2-on-2 situation. The trades do come through. Delan will be found. Pith as well. And Bleed wins this one. Taking it to 10.
11-9. Ring the alarms. Bleed are slowly crawling back once more. Only 2 rounds separates them.
Slowly. They do this all the time. They're just like, oh, it's not looking good. That's fine. Slow and steady wins the race.
Well, as I like to say, slow is consistent. It's consistent is fast.
We haven't seen a Yoru yet this tournament. Wait, we did, right? Sushi Boys played 1, right?
Blocking sight.
A Yoru?
Yeah.
I don't recall. I'll come back to you in about a minute after I check this down.
I really want to see a Yoru. I don't think I've seen it just yet.
Look here. Actually, no, I don't believe so. There hasn't been a Yoru just yet.
That's right! Conqueror straight to the head. Darion. I feel like Darion got punished so much for those kind of peaks. There's so many instances where he just doesn't learn from his mistakes.
All drone here. Oh, he finds 2 extra value off of that information. You're going to try and look to capitalize off of it. And knowing that, realizing there's more presence here than they otherwise would have liked, you're going to try and go towards the B site instead. But Pith, he's playing the wrong angle for this corner, but he still wins the gunfight against the Classic.
I can't believe he did that! They ran and gamed.
Ran and he gained a lot there, opening things up on the Kadum as well. B site should be ripe for the taking, but they're going towards the C site. They're going towards the C site
30
instead.
seconds left.
I'm pulling the aggro elsewhere, really giving them that line to try and take all these pistols.
Yep, that's right. Right now, Dylan does not know there's someone here. He does know now. With 3 from Pith, He's just doing so much work, decided to step it up right now, especially as so many times Darion is not able to give them that space, but Lonefields just tags so much with Pith with a 4K right now when Lexi just ties everything together.
Lexi, oh Lexi, he is really starting to pick up heat here. Pith at 30 frags, entering his way into this, playing that close angle, shutting down Wannafly off of the blind as well. Kadoom didn't have much to do in that situation. Pith has been finding them a lifeline time and time over. When it seems like they're overboard, just throwing them a rope.
Yeah, I really gotta give it to him. 30 bomb right now. Are you serious? Pith is just doing the heavy lifting on this round. But right now, Myth will be taking a timeout. Pith is probably like, yeah, it was all me, bros. Was it really?
He'll take it. As long as they get the round. I'm sure they don't mind. Maxi, Lenny, not as high performing so far, at least in the fragging department. Same with Darion, single digits.
Yeah.
And, imagine if they were really popping off. This could be a bleed game done and dusted, but Myth, they're putting up a good fight here.
I really gotta say, I like the way Pith is playing right now, just really catching so many of Made in Thailand players off guard, which is really what you want to do when you would think that just now you saw how he used his utility to make it look like he wasn't in there by popping that. That was really, really smart. Was to the point that while Delan did still check, but I don't think he was really bracing for how fast Pith can react. And those sprays from Pith has been ridiculous. I thought Wannaflies were disgusting. Same goes here from Pith.
Well, can he keep up the good show he's been putting on here for the bleed side? Information gathered that there is presence towards that backside. Will they know that the platform is occupied as well? Darion has made his way on in. He spots the head here out of Del End, who's going to ring his bell end out. And Maxi's going to get the trade on the opposing controller. Smokes down, smokes place. And for the most part, removed. Conga Red, though, does get that trade onto Lenny, but Lenny wasn't able to get the pick of his own. It almost seemed like he was, so they bring it down to a 2v4, and everything's just crumbling here for the bleed attacking side. Pith, though, finding them a lifeline once more, but not for too long, because Wannafly is going to have something to say about that. Flick here from Lexi, down to a 1v2. Spike is not in his control. On the swing, spots the Doom. Does he even know where Lonefields is? As that will give him information. Shock Dart almost confirming the kill too.
Yep, that's right. He has to destroy that recon 30 HP, but everyone is coming from the backside. He doesn't know. It's 2 players. Swings onto him. On 12. Myth.
Match point secured here from Made in Thailand. And this is looking like a dream made in heaven for them. Haven, if anything. Conga Red, great presence by him to peek out of the garage, hide by the corner just to get that space control for the rest of the players on the back of the site to filter back into it on the retake. Now Bleed. They're looking very, very sanguine in this.
Yeah,
Myth.
that's right. It's a little bit off as well. He didn't realize the Seekers were out. As he teleports in, the Seekers got him, giving a free kill to Conga, which is just so scary. Right now, Darion still wants to play the aggressive push here. Conga, I mean, no, his gunplay can be absolutely scary if he's good enough. For now, Lonefields trying to find if anyone is over here. Does know that Darion is here now. Conga gonna immediately try and see if he can get a pick here as Darion tries to move up there, but Lexi will be the one swinging out and not Darion.
Bleed. They find the opening pick that they need. They're gonna have to try and they single out all the weeds here left by Myth. Some utility plays towards that C site for the anti-push on C long. Lockdown potentially could be good, but every single player here on the service towards mid. Kadoom finds one. Lexi gets the trade, but Della and the Lonefields are gonna get the kills going their way. It's gonna be all down to Lenny, who cannot confirm the kill as Myth extend us into map 3. Great job from Made in Thailand.
Yep, that's right. Dylan with that very, very impressive 3K as well. Catches
Side when it comes down to locking things down and in the scramble.
Yep, that's right. But the question now is, how is Bleed gonna fare on this map? As you mentioned, no history of them on here. I'm really curious to see how they decide to take it. Either way though, Flash does come through from their side, giving them that information. Shock Dart as well, but no one gonna be taken immediately. Kadoom making so much space. Darion does find Conga in the end, but look at those sprays from Kadoom. 15 HP left though, but he will be switching out his gun for the Ghost.
Gets a kill, but barely scrapes by. Doing quite a low shot dart. Not going to connect on Pith, who's doing a good, ample job of holding that back line down, making sure the flank is kind of secured. But even with that aggression that they made towards B, they're rotating all the way here towards A. Seems like Bleed have caught on, though.
Yep, that's right. Bleed. They do know how to play flanks when they really, really want to. However, Lenny trying to make sure that no one is flanking from the back here. But he does here and spot out Kadum. One shot is all he needs, but the plant will be happening onto A side instead of B. The rotations will be coming through. They do still have 4 players against 3. Very, very doable. Wannafly playing this very sneaky corner here like Wannafly always does. But no one will be passing by. He needs to peek out here and immediately gets the headshot to Pith. Now everyone very, very aware that he's over there at double doors.
He's done a perfect job here of making things so much more difficult. Wannafly waiting behind it. Darion dashing past, but gets right-clicked in the face. Lenny on the quick trade. Down to a 2v2 here. He does have a shotgun to pull out, but he's fumbling with his keys, with his weapons and his utility. Just doesn't pull out the gun in time. Here comes Wannafly, not able to deny the plant. And Lenny, with a sheriff in hand, lays down the law. Opening pistol round goes in Bleed's favor.
4K. Just for Lenny, he is on fire. He definitely knows how to play this map for sure. Like how Dylan tried to save that out, but the problem was the bait coming out for Darion is exactly what he needs. Lenny just doing so well with the sheriff as well. Really like his map awareness.
Very well done from Bleed. Initially, it was Myth finding the opening pick off of Kadum's aggression there towards that B site, but because of the rotation pulled on in, made Bleed, rather Myth, decide to try and take their talent somewhere else. Here comes out the 0 point with the recon, but a great shot here from Darion to stop that from going even deeper.
Yep, that's right for now. We are seeing Darion try to get killed here, but Congrat will be the one who will be getting him out there. Lenny finds the lone fields on Wannafly, putting Pith out of the way right now, and Dylan just trade out back to Lexi. It's still 2 versus 2 there. Congrat's so very low. Checks out Emo. No one there. Lenny gonna be taking the round. Long turn, and he finds Dylan. Immediately shoots in the back. Congrat 15 HP left, all alone. The shots do come through. The wall bang comes around. Lenny again, the savior of these 2 rounds.
Lenny. Myth. They force the buy. They make it expensive. They get the plant down, but unfortunately just not able to secure the round, which means they're gonna have to go eco once more, potentially. Yeah, they're kind of a light buy, so Sheriff's Abound is all they got to work with. It was a worthwhile gamble, I think, just did not pay out in the end.
Yep, that's right, but I gotta say, Lenny, very, very aware, just sprays off, catches them off guard as well. Great communication coming in from Bleed eSports. Everyone on the same page, and starting off really good as well, despite this being a map that they probably haven't played in a long time. Not sure if they actually have not been playing it or been trading it another way. Kadum does have a Marshall here, and we all know that if Kadum does spot a hit, it's gonna go boom and go and pop.
Lots remaining to be seen here from Myth. After this gun round, after this eco round of this, especially when they go through the gun operator and the Marshall, neither of them connect. It will force Darion to try and reposition.
Poison orb emitting.
Snail's pace here, though, Tosh.
Yeah.
Information gathered. He's going to try and deny that from continuing on, but they know there's lots of presence here by Myth towards that mid position. It's been a very, very slow game so far.
Yep, that's right. Myth still try to find their tempo, at least for this map, but Wannafly play the sneaky deaky. Will he spot someone out? That is the question. For now, they are going to be running straight onto A site here. Sorry, B site. Lenny does find one. Will it be a double? Not quite. Congrat was pretty much ready for him. You're going to see Pith at least get him out of the way. Kadum going to be trading out. Maxi will be his victim, and immediately Darion blows off the lens head. Gets a double with that. He is very, very happy. While he wasn't able to get any picks last game, this is the game that he is finally heated up. Darion trying to find the last one. Trades it out with Wannafly.
The spike.
And now he does have the spike. He does have 11 seconds, but does not realize that Lexi was playing from Nest.
They get the rounds going, at least third as expected, but now Myth, they've got the guns.
Left.
This is a map that has been,
Oh, the
for the
timing for
most
the
part,
wall!
yeah, it just
One
comes out
enemy
unfortunately.
remaining.
But I mean, this is a map that has been, you know, attacker sided for the most part. So they're gonna have to start stringing some rounds over here. Honestly,
Yeah.
if Bleed get like another round here, bring it like 8-4 at the very least at the end of the half, that's still not the bad scoreline on Breeze. So Myth, they're starting to slowly step into muddy waters here.
Yeah, but that's right, and we all know that Kadum can wreak bloody havoc if he wants to, especially with the op right now. He's trying to see if he can get any hits here with help of Alone at least to get some information. They do get tagged here. Hunter's Fury will be the one tagging him out immediately. Conga Red will be out of the way. Then he's gonna be very, very happy with that. But Dellen finds Pith up there. A very, very awkward angle where I feel like the whole map can see him all the way up there.
Does have lots of vision from that position. Want to fly? Okay, his camera's been destroyed. Gives me some idea. Maybe someone deep in halls is waiting.
Yep,
On that
that's
double
right.
door though.
Oh, Lenny. He does
Oh.
not know. But Lenny gonna
playing
get
with fire.
Kadum out of it. That's perfect!
Scanning ahead.
That's the operator out of the way. They don't have to worry too much. Does find someone with the recon. Actually, the recon does actually get destroyed as well. So that's a trade for recon. Wanna fly playing here, but Lexi just a little bit faster with those sprays.
Aiming down his sights. Cannot connect the shot. Knows that main could be a problem here on the cave, but just want to keep them in stone for the meantime. 4 versus
30
2.
seconds left.
Bleed potentially a 4th round on the board here. Looking pretty good on the defensive side. It's been Myth who have been struggling, but we have seen almost comebacks like in Haven where Myth started out with 6 and Bleed came back with 5 rounds straight. That could be the case here for Myth if they can pick up the slack later on. But I think the
10
call here, the
seconds
proper
left.
one, would be to save these weapons. They are very low in economy, and being able to save what little they got, really counting those coins in exchange, is something that can help them push through in the long run.
Anticlimactic around for this one. Everyone just trying to make sure that they can go on with the economy, and especially on this map, we all know how important it is to at least have a Vandal or an Op, because these kind of rounds you get so much value out of them, and that's exactly what they wanted. It's just so unfortunate that Kadum actually lost his gun in that round as well, and to a rifle at that as well. Haven't seen that Darion and Kadum anime moment where they outgun each other just yet, like we saw in Heaven. Really looking forward to it though. But in terms of economy,
Revealing
Myth
area.
not doing so great. They only have 1 Vandal and 1 Op.
That could be more than enough, especially knowing that this team is so ferocious.
Ooh.
Here with the Spectre, though, Myth, they've made his way on in. One flies on with the Operator, and Kadum somehow finds a kill after picking up that Vandal. They can get the plant down. They have, as well, the ultimates to make it work out here. Coming in from that neural theft as well
Spike
as his
planted.
null command. So null command does get popped by Conga Red, peeking out wide. Maxi, I think he spots a foot out. He knows he's here around the corner, and Kadum playing too close.
Yep, that's right. Congrats will be the one found out as well. That's a double for Maxi, doing so good on this Viper. Either way, he's trying to spot out as many people as he can. Trying to find that bomb is the problem. Op shots do come
Oh,
out.
no.
Wanna fly misses that. Could have been dangerous. The land does find Darion and Pith as well. Suddenly, it's all Maxi all alone, and he just finds him through the smoke for Waterfly. Snakebite is gonna buy some time for him. Not able to do anything, has to come in from the other side. Some smokes, some shots do come out here. He takes the gun, wants to save it, but Deadland does find him. He wasn't as sneaky as he thought he was.
And finally made in Thailand get a round on the board. It almost didn't seem to be the case though, but somehow the heroics come on through and they make the impossible possible. Myth, opening round here finally. There were so many good moments from some of the players here like Bleed. But, well, Maxi almost making it happen, but Dylan's got something to say of his own. That was
Is his
such
world.
a back and forth round.
It really was his world, and immediately you're not gonna take a timeout for that. But I'm just really worried right now that the condition for that win was the fact that Delend had his ultimate. Because right now, Lenny looking really good on this map. Just now he wasn't able to frag out, but right now look already, he's already 11 kills.
Yeah, totally. What if he didn't have those ultimates, right? What if he didn't have all that to burn? Would have really worked out in the end. So things looking a bit wayward for a short moment there, but hey, they're still pretty close. It's only 3 rounds of difference, and the timeout from Myth once again called after the round has been won. So them realizing the benefits of taking a pause even when they're starting to gain momentum, to be able to really, I guess, capture that momentum and continue it forward.
Yep, that's right. But in terms of economy, both teams not looking so great as well. Both teams only having very few credits though. Conrad does have a few extra to spare. You can see just now that everyone actually died in that round, which is the problem. But Darion immediately finds Kadum out of the way, does get flashed, has to move away. Right now, Suppress will be getting him, but it doesn't really matter because Darion, all he needs is up, but will be finally gunned down by the rest of the team. Now Dylan going to be finding a different way to fight it, but Lexi is so very low. Will be sending out the flash right now. Dylan waiting. Recon ball does get spotted, has to move away, gets flashed once again. Not a great day to be Dylan.
No one
yeah, completely trapped between a rock and a hard place, with even more shock darts falling down on him. 5-1. Great defensive round from Bleed, just completely stifling the attack here of Myth, who seemingly wanted to take it heavy-handed, who wanted to go in by force. Darion, even without his staff, did a good job of holding the line down just enough for Lexi to come in, swing in, and really clean up house.
I really gotta give it to him. There was just so many flashes using onto Dylan, and right now it really would help. It really helps them actually, because Dylan has been absolutely on fire. Perhaps this might kind of stop the momentum a little bit. Made in Thailand, no guns to spare, only some Sheriff's Classics as well as the Marshall compared to what Bleed has. 5-1 looking really good for Bleed, finally getting the speed they need. Using the short dart to clear out the corners there, but that's not exactly where they are. They're actually playing onto Hall.
Can they haul themselves over the hump? As we see here, Kat.
Oh,
Pick from Pith.
I feel so bad for Kadum because they really need him to entry onto the site, but he's always the one that goes down first. The same thing that happened to Darion earlier. And Pith right now with the 3K, showing out with the 3K, showing how good he is with the op as well, that we did not see from the side of him in the last matches. Sid will make it an ace. Let's go, because we haven't seen that one today. It's gonna be that. He does spot it out. Yes, here we go. Clean ace all the way over at Hall.
Well, this ninja came in boots, not pajamas this time, because Pith was very ready for that fight. Double operator is now online for his defensive side here on Breeze. Bleed are really cutting into the wounds of Myth here. Have yet to be able to patch it up. You see him, great job at faking that. Pith against the eco here. So very clean, exactly what you want, and importantly helps him kind of farm some economy and ultimate points as well.
Personally, I thought those were ego picks onto Hall. You do not peek and up, and they still wanted to push through despite having all that information. Either way, Kadum onto the site now does know that Darion's over there. Just a spray is all he needs, dashes away, but Lenny from the back saves his friend's life. Dylan though will be finding Darion in the end. Lenny trying to make something happen. He does get one more out of that, but Conga Red with his fragment will be the one to stop his rampage.
A great job there by Lenny actually to make it much more difficult for Myth and not clean. Finding those 2 picks when it seemed like he was the one trapped there. Conga Red pushing out, perfect pop blast, finds 2 as well. Fully blind, Pith and Lexi go down. It's all on the Maxi coming in from the flank. I think they have some idea that that position of theirs could be open, especially with Conga Red being so deep. There's a Phantom. It can be much more difficult to try and challenge these long-range angles, but Snake Bite for Snake Bite. Back and forth. This round is done. It should be Myth taking the second.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like Maxi trying to make something happen here, but Lone feels just a little bit better with the sprays. Conga Red escaping with only 11 HP left, and the rest of his teammates staying alive. 6-2 with Myth slowly coming back here. Can't go anywhere. After all, this is Myth's map. Let's have a look here what exactly happened. The pop flash comes out, immediately gets 1, and a nice flick gets 2. That's a 3K for Conga Red, and this is where Conga Red really pops off. And I really like Conga Red's use of both Sky and KO. He just knows how to control flashes.
Very influential. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about him on the pre-panel a while ago, because that flexibility he brings just the reliability, no matter what AGT is on that mid-tier side, is very big. As Kadoom just opens up the site here on Maxi and Lenny, support players down. How do you even come back and retake a round like this?
Yep, that's right. With the suppress as well will be a problem. Pit does have his ultimate, the Tour de Force, trying to find some hits here, but no one is over peaking. He can't do anything. He does get spotted out by the recon ball, has to move away right now. Darion trying to find some people coming in from the back, but that's not going to be happening though, at least. Right now, suddenly, it's all looking not great at all from the side of Bleed, and we have seen this happen so many times. If Bleed loses momentum, it's going to be a while till they find it back. Lexi over here on Nest trying to move away here, barely missing the suppression blade. Wanna fly once again. He does have his ultimate. If he gets a kill, he can pop it.
Yeah.
And Darion does find Kadoom in the end, which is honestly a big pick for them, but they will ultimately lose the round.
3 rounds separating these two teams. The operator, maybe it was working on earlier. I'm not too sure if that remains to be the case here. Myth, on those rounds where, you know, they can just basically overrun the site, it makes it so much more difficult to hold it up against a rush sometimes. And when they have to give up the site, it makes it more difficult as well to retake it afterwards. So maybe if they lose the operator here soon, perhaps forgoing that weapon for basically a Vandal, any type of rifle, might just work out in their favor instead, considering how forward they like to push.
Yeah, that's right. For now, Bleed will be calling a timeout. Needs to find out how exactly to gain that momentum again. But in your opinion, what exactly changed from Myth to allow this, for them to take that 3 rounds?
Well, they've been changing up their pace a lot more often lately. Like on that previous round, round number 9, they went really fast. The round right before, they were slow. The round right before that, fast again. So being able to have that flexibility in your style does kind of help Myth to really keep Bleed guessing time and time on over. And they've been finding the fortune of going the opposite way that Darion would be with the operator. So now this time they're going to place him on B, but most of their presence is towards B in general. There's only going to be Maxi here on the Viper towards that A site. This could be a potential hole that Myth are willing to exercise.
Yeah, that's right. On top of that, though, I really gotta say, Alone Phil's recon bolts have been giving so much information to the point that they're able to get so many kills as well. They will be farming the orb as well for Deland. He does have his ultimate ready. We are going to be expecting a Viper Spit to happen as soon as the plant goes down, or at least as soon as they're on site. Pit here wants to get a frag. They do not get the information that they need from that guiding light, though. Pit trying to find anyone they can. They do get some idea that they are actually near lobby, and immediately look at that movement from the side of Sky. Pit finds one to fly out of the way. That gives them so much what do you call that, flexibility to be able to rotate from the back if they want to without giving away too much information.
Here comes the KO though, and oh man, he's stuck here. Lexi has to try and shoot his way out of it. Doesn't even find a pick, but Piff finds 3. Does get taken down by Congaret. Down to a 2v3 here. Here comes that Hunter's Fury of their own coming from the Bleed side. Lenny cannot connect. Neither can Darion with the operator. Does get tagged up there. Alone Phils, but he's going to be able to get the spike down at the very least now. Alone Phils trying to hold that line down. Congaret goes down. He does give himself away though. Lands a shot. Can he find a second pull-up? Does spot him out. Playing really close. And Darion's going to pop the blade to slice and dice it up. As Bleed secure the round advantage at the end of the half. They bring it 7-3.
That was so big from them, honestly. Pith doing so much work. That 3 pick gives so much breathing room for the team to be able to retake the site without too much problems. Let's have a look at that again. Look at where Pith was. Immediately catches Wannafly flanking. And the thing is, Pith was there before. He has been caught out. I'm just surprised he did the same thing again and was not punished once again for it.
Almost. A game of many almost moments here. A series of all that. Yeah, just back and forth. Ever since map 1, too. Like those overtime rounds, those post-bank rounds on Haven. The back and forth completely. Maybe Myth would string back 2 rounds here to answer back.
Oh my god, that was so sneaky. Gets double from that before Congret finally had enough of that. Look at that, the flash will be coming through. Immediately jumps into his side, but no one saw it right there. But on the other side, Alone Kills does find Lexi from from Cave, but he has only 30 HP, but he still gets one more to make it worth it. Shock Dart comes through to flush him out. And right now he has no clue where the other members are. He does have the spike immediately. He wants to do on the rotate. Try and go on to B because he's pretty sure it's pretty empty. Lone Fields only has very little HP. 1 versus 2, very doable.
Darion.
Oh, he didn't realize that he went through there.
Oh, he's tagged up as well, and he barely
Ooh.
gets that kill. Almost went down to the operator here of Darion, but Lenny, he has full HP, full armor as well. This is a fight that he should have the advantage in, but look where Lone Fields chooses to go. Knowing he's got that time to work with, he walked his way all up here towards Halls. Could potentially cross him and maybe even catch Lenny off guard.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, A is where he wants to go. Has to play it real safe, but
30 seconds left.
looks like he's gonna go coming in from the back instead. Or maybe he might go to B. He has so many options. There's so much time. Yep. Looks like he's gonna be doubling back onto B. Oh no, he's going to onto A. And look where Lenny is. He's going to B. If he plants the spike, there is more time again. He needs to plant now. He does have 10 seconds
left.
running for his life. Won't be planting default. So if, say, some shock darts were to happen, it's not going to be where it usually is.
Well, Lenny realizes the error of his ways, has ran his way now here towards mid. Oh, I think Lone Fields has some idea where he is. No, actually, he's walking.
No, he's walking. He does not know. But look at where he is. He
here's
can tell he's coming in up here. He waits! 4K for Lone Fields. Beautifully played. 30 HP is no problem for him. Clutch master.
Last round in the half.
Timing, the read, this doesn't work out there for Bleed. And yeah, that gives Myth ever more reason to stay in this game. 7-4, potentially 7-5, just like we ended the opening map on. But this time, Myth on that comeback situation. Lenny just could not find the proper fortune in his favor. They do have the operator here on Darion, the Guardian for Pith on his last round. Should go for the Judge instead. See how they're gonna play with this. They do pop that ultimate towards the A main position though for Viper.
Yep, that's right. That prevents them from actually getting onto the site. Immediately look at that. The rotation's gonna come. Immediately just say, okay, let's go on to B. Kadoom pretty much ready. If anyone were to push out, Darion's on the other side. But for now, Delan will be the one coming out, but he whiffs and misses. Immediately look at that. Kadoom nearly gets him with... Oh my god, the shorty nearly gets him out of the way.
Well,
we have 6 HP left.
Scraping by. Luckily, he's on the op, so even if he's low HP, he can still fight from a distance. Lone Fields gets a kill too. But look at some of the players from Myth. They're very low HP. That's a Lone Fields and Kadoom, a sliver away from death.
Yeah, that's right. But Lexi is out of the way. They don't have any flashes. Like it or not, they're gonna have to play this risky play. Congregate gonna try to get some information from the back that throws it out. They're gonna be running through that cage. Kadoom 6 HP. But right now, here comes the Hunter's Fury. Not exactly where he is. Lone Fields with 20 HP right now. Delan from the backside as well. Congregate trying to see if anyone's gonna be rotating inside here. They have all their angles covered. Pith will be the first one out next after Lexi. Right now, Lone Fields up there. Lenny, he has an idea. He does get tagged. Has to find another way through.
Maxi, once again, playing on the outer rims of this Viper's pit. He's been very successful in trying to fish him down multiple times. Did not land the shot. Delan catches him. Lenny finding Conquer Red. Down to a 2v3. Although Kadoom and Lone Fields, as I said, a breath away from death. You're able to get the kill on the Delan as well. Kadoom does get the trade off immediately though. Lenny, this could make this. He can make his clutch work out, especially since they're low. But he's gonna go on the swing and confirm the kill here on the Lenny. Myth scrape by. Get them the very minimum of what they'd want. 7-5.
Switching sides.
Honestly, 7-5, a great comeback from Myth after going so many rounds with not a single win. Very interesting play, but let's have a look at that again. I like the rotations coming through, but Congregate's game sense was just absolutely phenomenal there. Immediately reacted. Lenny was not bad as well. The thing about this is that he really wanted to stick it. The problem is, Kadoom isn't scared, especially as we go on to the next round with a reset.
Oh, this series is looking to go the distance here, Tosh. 3 maps, not even done. And it seems like overtime is right over, about to dawn upon us. 7-5. I mean, you kind of would want at least 7 if you were Myth, or maybe even 6, but this isn't a bad scoreline for them at all. still very winnable. You take the pistol, definitely could be theirs to throw on over. But Lenny, once again, it has been that backline, the support players of Bleed who have been stepping up and finding the kills. Seemingly, the front court of it, Lexi and Darion have just been struggling to find.
I really gotta give it to Pith. His usage of the op is a lot scarier than what Darion brings to the table, I believe. And this is what we talked about this morning. Sometimes there's some moments where it's just not possible for you, as you know, on the op. It just makes you very, very relevant. It's okay to switch out to a rifle. I think with Pith here as a chamber, it allows him that freedom to switch out between the two weapons. I really gotta say, Maxi's use of Viper as well has been absolutely dominating, gives so much problems to Myth. And sometimes there are some moments where it's just like, okay, Maxi made so much problems. It looked like it may be Myth trying to get out the side or switching out, but the thing is, because just Maxi alone anchoring the site is already giving them so much headache.
Maybe there could be shades of better moments from those players to really come to life in the second half. And all the players that we have expected to, you know, be really great, they have to prove us right coming into the second half, because they could be sent to the lower bracket if that is not the case. Double digits on Lenny and Pith. No, not much fortune in Myth's side, but brought to within reaching distance of this lead. If they take this pistol, it'll be ever more so true. Look at this mid aggression being shown by Myth, trying to take that. 4 players kind of relegated, taking that early mid control. The B site is where the initial contact was put on by Bleed, but they're actually going towards the A site here for the plant. Lexi still somehow with a ghost gets away with it.
His usage of the flashes have been really, really scary. Spike will be planted, though they won't have any problem taking care of it from cave. However, Myth is covering every single angle, just trying to look for lurkers here. But right now, they will be making sure there is nothing around, but Darion finds Congress in the backside. Novelin as well, Maxi from so many different angles. Pith, they're just trading this out. That's the crossfire I've wanted to see from Bleed for I think 2 maps now, which we haven't seen actually.
Every single kill by Bleed in that pistol round was a pretty... Every single one. The 2 on towards mid by Lexi, and then the pickup from Pith, from Maxi, and Darion after. Look at this. There's another one. Headshots. All for sale.
1 enemy remaining.
Like,
for sale.
There's a sale on death here, Tosh, and sale on death here, Tosh, and it's Bleed who are the sellers.
Bleed are headshot sellers. Oh, but I really gotta give it to Lexi. That 2 picks were just new. Doesn't get the information that he needs. Doesn't see anyone there. But it looks like a majority of the players on mid are coming in through hall. They want to try and come from the back and backstab. Kid on the back, they're pretty much waiting. They have the idea. The trademark does spot him out. Gets Wannafly out of the way. And that's really, really well played from him.
Wannafly getting caught off guard there. Bleed always taking things at a slow pace. Always drawing out the time and waiting for a response coming from Myth. If in case they do get too aggressive. Better than the speeder, for sure.
Yeah, no accidents. No accidents happening here. No fines either.
Yeah, no parking tickets.
Yep, perfectly well done. Either way,
actually, though. Oh no, maybe it's the other way around. It's like, officer, why are you pulling me over? You have a parking ticket. What do you mean? I'm on the highway. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly a Darion from the back here. But they do know that there's a trademark there. Gonna be clearing it out,
left.
but the shots do come out. Darion does get at least slightly. Not really too worried about it. Coming through here. He was gonna push through. Immediately gets pushed from the side here from Lenny with the Guardian. Get Lenny with the Guardian gets through. And Pith gonna be helping out from the side there. Congaret, no clue how to get onto side at all. Suddenly it's gonna be double swing here. Alone fails. Can't do anything to stop the rampage, and it's flawless from Bleed.
9 to 5, clock in the hours because rush hour is about to commence as the guns are about to be brought into the fight here. Smith unable to find a single pick there, but hey, it was on eco for them, and it's notoriously difficult to convert eco rounds on this map if you don't have like marshals and sheriffs and all that. Even when you do, it just can be difficult because of the range of this map. Classics simply are very ineffective the ranges of engagement that you typically see on this map. But 9-5, Myth, a great moment for them that they had earlier in the opening half. But let's see if that's gonna come back in their under their sails moving into round 15.
Yeah, that's right. On top of that, I mean, while they do have rifles here, Darion, we have seen how much damage he can do with the Marshall as well, and Lenny has been popping off this round. And I have to say, Lenny and Pith outperforming themselves on this map. I mean, well, no, not really Pith. Pith ended last map with a 30 bomb. Just crazy to think about it, especially in tournament.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts from a player like him. I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why they were looking at, you know, like Pith, pulling him into the Bleed roster, knowing that potential that he has. Something they want to tap into.
He can go crazy if he wants to. It's just a matter of like how much he has to step it up in order to make sure that he can really close the game. And I think he really wanted to win that round, which resulted in that 30 bomb. Either way, look at that. Darion running in with the Dugo. Does not spot anyone here, but he doesn't know that one of is over there. He does get tagged. Really clears that out. I'm surprised that they're not going to be running that out. But Dylan finds Lenny in return, and Congra as well finds Pit. Those are two heavy hitters now out of way. Darion gonna be found out by Kadoom. Right now,
So
it is
difficult.
projecting for the loot. They do have not the better guns if you think about it.
So difficult there to wait in the one-way cyber cage. Bleed, they give them their positions away. Conger now knows the Viper is here. Expects Lexi to be there as well. You can expect a full rotation to come on in to try and block him and maybe even cut them off. Pulling back. They want no more of this fight. All they want here are exit frags. Get some kills. At least make it expensive and farm some economy of their own for the next few rounds.
Yep, that's right. Coming in from mid here, they want to catch him off guard if possible. Maxi, very aware, but Kadoom has his gun trained for that. Maxi, one peek is all he needs, and immediately goes down, finds the spike as well. Not a great time. Lexi will be wrapped up as well.
Very clean round here from Made in Thailand. They did have the rifles though, and now it's time for Bleed's turn to invest. And I think that's something that they've been normally pretty good at converting those gun rounds, but they don't have the crutch of the op anymore as they did on the defensive side. Now, that said, albeit
One enemy remaining.
we have been seeing a lot more attacking side ops, an uptick in that as of recent.
Yep,
If Bleed decide to go that route, it might just work out.
that's right. Baron still has some extra press to spare. Maybe you might be seeing next round, but look at that. I really like the initiative where Darion is coming in alongside the Trailblazer. For now, it's gonna be coming into guiding light. Kadoom does find Lenny. Not a good time. They do need the recon. For now, Darion moving in a little bit too deep. Does not know that someone behind him. Immediately sprays
Damn.
Kadoom with a 3K. Now Pith, that does get spotted out there and will be sprayed out by Wannafly. Suddenly, it's looking downhill here for Bleed.
He's not looking just down low. Potentially an avalanche that this could turn into a landslide. If Myth continue this momentum, and Eco has to be pulled out here by Bleed to potentially bring it 9-8. But then after that, and Myth with the momentum they've had, this is really been anybody's game here. Kadoom, man, he has just been so explosive and such a big force for the Smith squad.
It looked like in the beginning that he was getting outgunned, I believe. But once he finally got that momentum, that heat, he just goes crazy. Darion does get splashed out, immediately gets his location revealed, has to move away. Gonna be thinking twice about coming in through here, but Pith, he gets suppressed as well, needs to move away. There's so much utils used to them so early, so many sprays as well. Dylan gonna have to move away. Darion does find Concrete, but Dylan will be getting Lenny. Darion will be trading him out in return, gets a free gun as well. The plant will be happening, but Lone Bills from the back there tries to put in the sprays here. Darion from the side there. We also have some smokes here coming in from the Viper. It's gonna flush him out of the way and give so much more space for the team.
Waiting and waiting. Alone Fills is here.
Out of charges. Revealing area.
All this eco
But he's
on
not
Bleed's
alone,
side.
though.
No, definitely
Staying
not.
alive.
He's supported by his friend. Oh, Darion not even able to get the kill. Timing does not work out for him. And this is super winnable for Myth, but time is ticking. They have to step on that pedal, otherwise they're going to be pressed for it. Now, with that, all Myth have
One
to do
enemy
here, other
remaining.
Bleed have to do is get another pick, and that should be it. Lexi and Maxi close out the round, 10-7. They get to that double-digit scoreline first. Will they be able to continue this on? Because it was a great eco for them, Maxi, but their gun rounds, their rifle rounds haven't been super convincing.
Not really, but Kaduna won't be going next round. He does have the operator, but you have to see that a little bit more for Bleed's tempo. Right there is what exactly I was talking about Lone Fields. His
enemy
recons have been
remaining.
absolutely crazy, and the amount of kills they get out of that information gives so much, enables so much more to be done by Kaduma and the rest of his team. However, when you think about how each round goes, that the tempo by Bleed kind of caught them off guard, allowing them the sight, also giving them so much space. Kadum and Darion here will be having their, their crosshairs trained at each other's general area, but the idea of who gets the pick first is still the question.
Really is one we're waiting to see answered. Oh, going to be looking at the same angle. Kadun gets smoked off here by Darion. Might have been the right decision, all things considered. Do not want to challenge an operator on a slow peak like that, so this might have been just the right move. Big gamble, though, to pull the operator out on the attack. Is be diligent about how he uses that and where he decides to place himself. Right now, mid is his position. Currently unsupported, though, which is a really, really big risk to run with such an expensive investment.
Yep, that's right. Looks like Kadum doesn't want to be in the same site anymore, but Lexi's gonna try and get some information here onto the site. Spots nothing. For now, it's all up to Lenny, but they're gonna have to buy some time here. They're gonna have to stop because all of that utils are
30
just not
seconds
letting
left.
onto site. Lexi immediately gonna get some information out here, but nothing's gonna be happening. But here comes the Viper's Pit, gonna be clearing out so much of the area here. Right now, Congret, no clue where to go, where to see, but finds Darion on the side there. What an awkward angle to be in.
And that's a risky run. You're playing the sole operator. Why is he flanking on mid even in the first place? Plant not denied, but Kaboom just walks in with a shorty and gets some kills here. Lenny able to get the trade on him. 2v2. Lenny! Oh my goodness! Finding another kill. But Conqueror's got something to say about it. 1v2. Maxi, it's his world, his moment. He's gonna find the kill, bring it down to a 1v1. He knows where Lone Fields is. He's gonna win the round as well as Bleed bring us within a round of match point. 11-7. Quite convenient.
That's the Vera eSports clutch that we wanted to see. Maxi absolutely pleased with himself. Darion, very big misplay there. Very awkward positioning as well. Gets punished for it. And thankfully, Maxi and Lenny are able to bring it back. Really, really like how they are communicating, these two especially. And right now, it's just the battle of the Sentinels, battle of the controllers right now on this map. We don't care about the duelists anymore. It's all about
You want to
Sova,
play?
the
Let's
Viper,
play.
and the Chamber.
It's been really, really working out here for the Bleed side. This could be the final stand of Myth. They don't win this round, and this series could be done. They could be going to the lower bracket. Bleed, small edge here right now, razor thin and sharp. It's been cutting into Myth on the defensive side. Now Kadum holding things down. So Landy's next few shots, as they are going to be coming his way, but it doesn't seem like anybody's taking the long route through cave, trying to go through shop instead. This Algon is perfectly placed in time for him to be able to flush out to Doom and not let him really get that free opening pick.
Spot out,
Oh, still got
but Kith still gets a pick out of that. Coming in onto site with the Hunter's Fury is one person here. That's Lenny defense Kadum. Darion getting one fly out of the way. That's two big hitters now out of the way. And the plants will be happening here. Looking very convincing win for the side of Bleed. However, Lone Field still trying to find a way. Barely misses that shock dart there. The thing is, Bleed not over peaking where they don't have to. Not going too aggressive as well. Gotta play it real safe. Just buying time.
But can they be able to have enough time to get this retake going? 3v3, but Conqueror coming on the retake from the double door is going to be huge for them. Here comes the fragment as well. The Molly trying to keep them in place, but dodging in between the smokes. He still finds a kill there. Lenny going back and forth. Conga Red waiting and waiting. It's down to the 1v1. He's going to try and stick the defuse, getting the half, but he's calling the bluff. Here comes the swing, and Lenny says goodbye. Too many clutches coming from you, good sir. And this one shall be ours. 12-7, series point for Bleed.
I just gotta say, when they say all heroes wear capes, they did not mention Sova in that hero list, or per se, it's gonna be Lenny. So many times he's been saving or doing these band-aid clutches that just really help his team. There's just so many misplays as well as positioning from the team as well, and I'm really worried because as Bleed gets to that final round here, I'm just worried that they're not able to close out the match, and we're gonna see mid just come around, and we're gonna be seeing an overtime because I'm not surprised if this were to happen.
I wouldn't be as well. There's just many small moments that haven't been going Myth's way. A kill here or there, a swing that maybe favors them, could have really brought that momentum. And a lot of times, you know, when you talk about swings, it really is what the game is about. Those momentum swings, and especially the economic swings, are huge. One swing can really turn the game around. And just they haven't been finding that pendulum go their way so far here, Myth. It's quite fair though, because Bleed have been spectacular so far in the second half.
Yep, that's right. Looks like timeout is over. Is Bleed gonna be able to close it out, or we're gonna be seeing a few more rounds from Myth before this ends? Comes back to Deja Vu, back to map number 1. Almost similar in terms of scoreline as well. We saw Bleed take so many rounds before finally they were able to close the game. And when you actually hit, there's a 5-round difference here. You really need to make sure that there's no mistakes made, because 1 round is all it needs for Bleed to run away into the upper bracket. However, Delan gonna be stopping anyone from coming onto the site here with the smokes, with the Viper's Pit. And right now, gonna find anyway. Bleed does not care, coming in through mid. Immediately Lenny gets shotgun to the face. Pit does trade it out, but Congaret with a double, looking so good. Suddenly there's only 2 members left from Bleed. Pit and Maxi all alone. Perhaps that was the wrong call to forcibly take this site, which belongs to Delan.
12-7. And Myth looking to potentially bring this game a bit closer. They're going to need like 5 rounds perfect. Actually, well, 4 if they win this. So bring us into overtime. Definitely capable of doing it. Will it happen this time over? Spike has been dropped, not in their control. Bleed trying to find their way to pincer it. Yeah, and really come at them from multiple angles. You can see Maxi going in through mid here.
30 seconds
Pith
left.
is trying to pull their attention his way, so Maxi can actually find an opening. But Kadoom, he's wise. He knows that this is a possibility, and so he's going to be waiting here from CT. He hears a presence coming from him. He's going to try and confirm the kill, but Maxi, great shot to land, but still very difficult for them to try and retrieve that spike.
Yep, that's right. They can just save their guns, or at least make it expensive. Take a few more kills out of the way. It is still possible, but Lonefields finds Pit. But Maxi getting a double here onto Congared, and finally they stop the rampage. It's 12-8 right now. Round 20.
All right, 4 more rounds. Try and equalize things up. They have to
They're
try
still financially able to get the guns they need, but let's have a look at that again. As I said before, sometimes Bleed, you know, there are some things in life that you cannot take away, and that is also one of them, is taking, you know, a Viper's Pit away from her. Yes, sometimes it can work in your favor, but it's a very risky move. Not too sure why Bleed didn't just go to the other side instead of contesting that. I would have thought it would be a better play, especially if they need to just, you know, close the game.
Well, let's see what the rhyme to the reason is. They do have economy to buy up here Bleed, as you said, Tosh, but after this, they're gonna have to go eco in. 12-10. Could be huge. Aldrone out for Trailblazer. Information found either way. He spots 2 out for that. That's a good value off of that information gather. And Darion with his blades can do something up here. But Maxi's the one to find the opening pick. This is going to keep him at bay of the tripwire, doing some damage. Be careful there, Lone Fizz. A bit too deep on that dip. But because of the null command pop here, that's going to take away his blades. And he finds a kill on Lexi too.
Yeah, that's right. Not looking so great right now. Lonefield's just clearing out the area here. Gets Darion out of the way as well. It's still 3 on 4, but we all know how difficult it is playing inside Viper's Pit. We are going to be seeing some lineups come through here just to buy some time. But we have to be careful. Pit playing by the side here. He loves doing this. Finds one. Gets Conqueror out of the way. Comes and gets double. Not quite, because right now Dylan a little bit better here. But Maxi does find Wanna Fly alone. Lenny with the shotgun finds Alone Fields right now. Maxi play on the side there. Maxi does
1v1.
get found by Dylan. Time is running out. Defuse does happen. Lenny
Attackers
saves
win.
the day again. Beautiful play. 13-8. Too close for comfort.
Beautiful round here coming in for the side of Bleed, taking that Hall's control one that helps him set them from the rest of the pack in their own region. But when it comes to the scene in general, Myth, they come from a very tough Thailand scene, one that has been a powerhouse in first-person shooters for the longest time. And you see players like Doom, who we know have also been competing for quite a while, Red, who's so great. We can only expect them to really play their hearts out.
Yep, that's right. However, round number 1 is going to be really interesting right now. Seeing that the lineups for both teams have been very interesting. Let's see on the breach. Let's see if it actually brings any value here. Kadum waiting here on CT, trying to see if he can actually get through that smoke, which is one of the most annoying things about an Omen. But let's talk about Darion. Right now, let's hold on about that because Wanafly has been down alongside Alone Fields right now. It is still a 2-to-1 trade here. But in terms of the speed, Red is getting a double on that one with a... Whoa, actually make that a 4. One with the fragment.
Red, Unga Bunga, this guy brings into it. Just great retake coming in from him. He's one of the players I wanted to talk about and touched upon during that panel in the pre-game, knowing how great he is as a flex. And I think that's really what's going to be very important for these two teams. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of our eyes on players like Doom and Darion, but I really think that second and third in Red for Myth and for Lexi here for Bleed are really the big playmakers for this team. Maybe not quantity-wise, but definitely quality-wise. And you saw their quantity and quality frags falling his way.
I have to agree with you, and when you think about it as well, you speak about Red, we saw him play Skye as well, and his Skye has been one of the most aggressive and terrifying Skies I've ever seen. I think these kind of agents really suit his playstyle, and look at that, immediately 2 agents suppressed and he just moves away. He doesn't take those unnecessary risks, but Lone Fields will be the one to get Lexi out of the way. Beautiful Ares shot when you think about it. But you see Wanafly before, I think he really shines on an agent like Viper. But what do you think of his KJ plays?
I think it actually does fit in with him. He's very reliable in trying to hold down the site, at least going 1-for-1. And you might actually see that right here. Although I think Darion has the read. Typically when you do have the turret there, you can't expect a crossfire with it on the opposing side towards logs. So you can see that they have some notion that there could be a player waiting in the logs, and that's going to be Wanafly. So the suspicions remain true. They might find him, although he does fall back. For the meantime, though, Bleed really just slowing the pace down here, trying to see if Myth are going to go and overpeak.
Oh, they're going to get spotted out here.
That's gonna kill him.
Immediately reacts, takes one out of the way, thanks to the nano swarm here. And that is the beauty of a beautifully placed recon.
Not only that, the shock dart to follow up, and somehow Lady didn't even know he was in the nano swarm here. Wanafly finding 2. You talked about him, Tash. You tried to highlight him because he's really great in holding things down. They do pull off a flawless, very clean anti-eco here for the second round. One that they really needed to continue this lead.
Anchor. I think that's the name I want to give to Wanafly from now on. That was sick. Let's look at that again. Because of the smokes, because of that recon and the shock dart, it just really puts the players in a way where it's so hard for them to move anywhere. And they have taken so much damage as well. While it did look like Lone Fields did have the upper hand because of that Ares, but like, I just really gotta give it to them. It's just so beautifully played. Now, when we talk about Pith before, I have seen him play KJ before. He likes to lurk in the back. He likes to play it very methodically, as all KJ players do. I think we all know this. 300 IQ. But it looks like Wanafly's KJ is a little bit more, I wouldn't say flashy per se, but a little bit more, I think this thing is a lot higher compared to Pith's.
They definitely do make their own case why they're very valuable on that Killjoy role here for either side, and I think it really does fit their playstyles. Reliability is one of the biggest aspects and factors you want to consider when it comes to that, and discipline as well. You can't have your Sentinel over peaking, and this alarm bot, it's a bit deeper than usual, but it will cap off somebody in a more disadvantageous position if they ever came to it. Darion finds it out though, hearing it, and that forces him back to try and regress towards Catwalk instead.
When you think about Darion, it actually reminds me of a KJ over on Full Sense just now. Very not only aggressive, but the way they make that space. Kadoom already out of the way thanks to Lexi, and Darion gets Deland in return. Congaret will trade out Lexi in turn. Suddenly Congaret is just
30
playing
seconds
back and
left.
forth, but Len with the swing. Immediately Myth repositions themselves, and suddenly it's a 2-on-3.
Shock Dart out here. That should hit the player playing in Jenny there on Pith, but doesn't really stop the plan from going down. He does have a recon for this retake, but barring them finding a single pick, then this is going to be very difficult to do. He does pick up the Vandal here, the Wanna Fly. He wants to lay it loose. He's going to have to find the pick off first. With Maxi playing all the way here in A long, it's going to be more easier said than done. Recon's going to give him away. He's going to get the trade at the very least with Pith. Going to find the final kill on the opposing Killjoy, and that gives them the third round that they need to bounce back into the game.
I really gotta say, while they had a numbers disadvantage just now, that Recon really gave away so much information. There's just one small thing when you think about it. It comes down to your micro plays at this point. So now in terms of Made in Thailand and Bleed eSports, I think Made in Thailand loves to play more aggressive compared to Bleed eSports. So in your opinion, when you have a team that likes to play very, very aggressive against a team that likes to play a bit more passively, what are we gonna get?
We could have very different things coming in here, Tosh. I mean, well, first of all, there's an Odin on Myth's side, so you know he kind of wants to go party time.
He always goes that weapon. I mean, I understand that guns go brrr, but come on.
You got the macho gun. Sylvester Stallone would be quite happy with that.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello. Scarface this time. Oh, you got John Rambo and Scarface in the server. Okay. Oh, yeah, but we got a big gun in Kadoom's hands as well on that sniper rifle. Although he's been forced back all the way towards the spawn. Look at what he's holding. He's holding the cross in case Bleed do push up that far because the alarm bot has been given away. The only player close towards market is Wanna Fly, although he does have Alone Fields to try and support him. But Kadoom, I think he's looking to try and peek this alone. That Aldrone will find some positions here of Bleed, kind of scattered towards that mid link. And Kadoom, he's holding the cross. This is really kind of 50-50 who will win this fight, but he does have the advantage.
You see him move little by little. Reminds me of a cat just like wiggling his butt, slowly making way to the middle. But I think they kind of suspect that he might be there, which is why these micro little moves are happening. And immediately they are going to cover that. But he says, no, I see your legs. Immediately Darion will be dropped down to the ground. Lone Fields waiting from the side here, nearly tagged by the Hunter's Fury. And Wanna Fly is pretty much ready on the side as well. Maxi with only 34 HP does get flashed. Is trying to play a little bit more safe in the backside here. The suppression is out. No one is able to use anything. But Pit a little bit faster than the Odin right now. And Pit will be caught out by Kadoom right there. Straight in the face with the op. Not a great way to go.
And Bleed are struggling as soon as Myth got guns in their hands. That Odin was able to find at least one in the Lone Fills. He was alone, but he definitely filled the gap that was left behind. Bleed really kind of, as the time ticked down, they just struggled to get any good footing, and when they actually did go for the execute, because of that kind of one way that did actually help the Myth side coming in from Darion, let them get the pick off quick and clean, brought it down to a 4v5 immediately. Without much time, a scramble ensued. It's very difficult for the attacking side to really make much sense out of that. So an eco stake will be forced upon Bleed. As you can see, pistols abound. That's all they got to work with. He can be very thrifty with his weapons though, and I think Congared realizes that and he's going to try and play the farther angles instead.
Yep, that's right. Delan, I think one of his best games was actually on Breach. Really excited to see what he can bring to the table as Astra. Darion does have the blades. He can go for more aggressive stance here. But you have to understand, I was just talking to Astra earlier about how Maxi as well as Pit might have different styles of gameplay because they play more of an EU style compared to the Singapore server. And here comes the Rolling Thunder here. Delan barely surviving by the skill. He does take it out in return. Lexi does find Delan after that, but Congaret trades that out, and immediately look how fast, how everything went to 0 from to 100 in just like literally 2 seconds as soon as the Rolling Thunder ensued.
What I will say here is, you know, Myth, rather Bleed, have been doing very good eco rounds. You saw that on round number 3, almost, where Myth, rather round number 2, and then right now here as well, Bleed, they've been putting Myth down a 2v2 here basically. On the retake, yes, they will get 1 kill, Moves down to a 1v1, but the lockdown is going to have to come in place. All he has to do is delay, and now he's dead. They're both detained! And now they're both in the same state. They're going to pretty much face check each other. Hello, but the thing is, Wannafly is going to come out of his lockdown first. He's going to get the kill with a right click in his face. And they barely scrape by off of the eco as well. Myth somehow pull it off. Actually, no, rather, they didn't eco, but it was Bleed on the eco. Yes, but it was very expensive. That was kind of my point. Bleed have been making these eco rounds quite expensive on the mid side.
Yeah, that's right. Even though they only had sheriffs and even a pistol, they lost everyone except for one player. But I have to say, that was actually pretty funny. You imagine, I really want that to happen. You just kind of stare at each other like, hey, we can't move. But that 1 millisecond, I feel like probably Wannafly was like, and Maxi just like spamming their guns, like just pressing and pressing and pressing, hoping to come out first. But clearly, that was not the issue. However, both teams will finally be back on the same equal footing in terms of weaponry. It's gonna be okay. Concussion does come out here. Darion gonna try for a cheeky jump peek here. But Kadum with the double! Oh man, they're feeling it right now.
The Kadum collateral comes in. 1 bullet, 2 birds taken down, and that's Darion and Lexi, 2 of the front-facing spears of Bleed. That's going to make things a lot more difficult. You lose your sword, you pretty much have to forgo the shield at some point as well. Bleed 3v5 is still winnable, especially if they catch Conga Red out off guard. Maxi, main position known, going to be forced to kind of retreat just a hair because of that fragment being dropped down. Looking to aggress here on the grass. Even if they touch it, I'm not too sure if that's going to get them outside of this kind of pickle they're in.
Yep, that's right. And look at these setups already coming from the side of Myth. It's gonna be so hard to actually get into the site. And as well, when you think about it, how Wannafly plays this is just basically to buy as much time as possible while his teammates come out. The Swarm Grenade does come out from Market, immediately hit. Gonna be just swung out and just gets Wannafly in return. Maxi gonna be coming in through mid, trying to see if he can catch anyone out. Does find Conga Red here. He's gonna be very, very happy with that pick. Immediately, Paranoia comes out as well. Alone feels alone in this boathouse. Gets 1, which is just a shadow, not exactly the player. But look at that crosshair together, and finally, the plant will be happening with barely enough time to spare.
Okay, this could be a round that Bleed at least cut that lead down to half. 2 versus 1. It's all on the Dell end. He's gonna have to ring the bell here to end this round. He has been spied out. They spot him as well in return, though. They know he's here towards the stairs. He goes for the 1. Could have followed up on the second shot, but great trade here coming in from Lenny. Not let it get too out of hand. Expensive round, though, for Bleed. Still, they get it done at the end of things. Do not have full utility, maybe, on some of their agents, but hey, they're more than happy at least to win the round, one that they so desperately needed, especially in a 3v5.
30 seconds
I
left.
really like that. I don't think it was intentional to get a double there, but the problem is when you are peeking together like that, that poses a big, big problem. But the thing is, I felt like for Dylan, he could have gone for a double because they are lined up for him. It's just, I think timing was just not there when it comes to the bullets, I believe. Timeout for Bleed. And when you talk about early timeouts, I think it's because they need to reprioritize or rethink how they play. Myth is just so good at catching stragglers in the backside, even if they play a pincer sort of way.
And, you know, there's a very different philosophy when you call a timeout after winning a round. Lots of teams, you know, they call a timeout when the opposing side has kind of been basically gaining lots of momentum to try and stop that. And so that makes sense too. But there's another kind of idea wherein after basically you've been losing quite a few rounds in a row, and then when you finally win your first round after that losing streak of rounds, that's when you call your first time out. And the reason behind that is because lots of times teams kind of want to talk over why we won that previous round and how we can continue it. So that's something we kind of that's something that we kind of saw a lot more often, like late 2018, going into 2019, even before Valorant. And I'm glad to see that kind of idea has continued on.
It's like a glass half full sort of moment rather than glass half empty. And I really like that sort of idea as well. Sometimes when you get your first, you kind of gotta shake it off, you know? Just keep it going. But speaking of keeping it going, Kadum all alone on A. If he were to peek, it'll be very, very not great as well, because that means there's not going to be anyone there to defend the area. Shock Dart does come out, does not find anyone. They are going to be peeking out here in a very dangerous area. Is Kadum. Sprays do come out, immediately repositions himself as he gets tagged, and he will be going straight to tree.
Well, not many seeds have been planted here. Myth.
Oh,
Well, maybe we'll actually see one
Maxi.
later, Tosh. If somebody gets a kill with like the Gaia skin, we actually do see a darn oak.
Well, that's exactly the same joke that Asteroid did earlier. He said
darn.
the tree has been planted.
Now I feel corny because it came from Asteroid. No, I'm kidding. Love you, bro.
You guys have the same brain after all.
No!
Concuss coming
No! I do not want that. I mean, Asteroid is very.
30 seconds left.
We love him. But he's
Yes,
one
but
of his
you
own.
don't want to
He's
be like
unique.
him.
Well, obviously we're talking about the game here. 4v5, Eco State put in to Myth,
Spike
and
planted.
with that they went for a bit of a gamble, a gambit. Stack that B site. Doesn't ultimately pay out though, because they're gonna have to try and maybe go
No.
for exit frags here to go towards the A plan.
Yeah, retaking it shouldn't be too hard though, but coming through with so much utility is, because especially going through an Omen as well as KJ, not very fun to deal with. Either way, door has been closed. It's another layer of rather security and information they can give to the team. But right now, look at that. Everyone's going to be playing through A long here instead of staying on site, which I feel is really good. But we are seeing actually Conga Red as well as Wannafly coming in from the back, trying to catch any exit fraggers at least. But Conga Red waiting, the flash does come out, the sprays, but Conga
wow.
Red gets everyone. But at least they're both down. In return, make that 3.
That was a great eco round, all things considered at the end of it. For them to get 4 kills off that one pop flash. And you saw there that Alexi, he kind of spotted out the flash was about to be thrown, but just in the nick of time, they were able to make it happen. And more importantly, Conquer Red and Wannafly able to land their shots with just the Spectres, even though they were fully blind on the opposing side with just that frenzy. Very, very nicely done. Could have been very wayward,
Saran and
but
Gangan.
they get that's a value meal and a half.
Exactly, that's what we talked about as well. Like, you know, it's a mini Spectre. You can run and gun with that, especially for that range. They do find Maxi over there. Won't be suppressed for long. They can take their time. The smoke has been put out as well, especially because that's one way. However, Conga Red gonna be trying to make sure that he has Kadooms back here. Talk about the last game as well, how Flinch didn't get the support he needed when he played off. And we're not gonna see that happen again, but oh my god, immediately that shocked. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not. Actually gets rid of Pit's alarm bot.
They take the orb, which alerts them that their suspicions of Bleed stacking up towards that B main side is true. But looks like they kind of want to take mid control here, potentially flex towards A, but I know hindsight is 2020, might not be the best idea considering the operator of Kadoom is poised towards locking down that short position. They're looking to maybe commit towards his B site. They've got the stuns ready, the Owl drone as well to try and get that information, and with that the alarm bells have been rung. You see the rotation from Myth are here to try and support the last 2 sentinels, rather the last 2 anchors on the B site.
But that's where Lone Fields does see actually spot one person. Darion gonna be found by that beautiful
30
shock
seconds
dart.
left.
And the Hunter's Fury has been let loose. Wannafly does die, and also does Lone Fields as well. Lexi from the side there, getting those corners needed to be cleared. Maxi finds Conga Red as well. The suppress is out of the way. However, that's a beautiful way of baiting. He does find one, gets one more as well, and suddenly, ka-chow, ka-chow. Bleed takes this round, bringing it back to a 4-4.
That was looking so good for Myth on the defensive side. They got the opening kill with utility, nano swarms, plus the final shock dart to try and cap it all off coming from Lenny. But then in the scramble, somehow, Bleed, they just shoot their way out of it. Perfect Hunter's Fury to flush him out of that backside towards the B side. And because of that, they had to try and go aggress towards the mid side where they were exposed to the attacking Bleed side. And then Myth, the rest of them just kind of filtered through one by one to try and help the defenders inside the site. And let Bleed isolate the fights and win them all.
Yeah, I really like the isolation method just now because we had people coming in from behind Boathouse as well as B main. But right now, Maxi holding a very nice far away angle here, can get some information as well for the team. But coming back to that fight just now as well, I really gotta say that in a way, the area where Conga Red actually died kind of like baited Deland as well, because while he was busy reviving, he didn't think to look downstairs where we had an uninvited guest waiting for them rather. Here's Lenny. They really like these big guns, huh?
Especially in the attacking side, you'd normally expecting the defense. Oh, the Pika Doom goes wild. He lands a great shot here, but he's able to back off for the meantime. Conga Red's going to find one of his own, but Max is going to clean up house, bring it to a 3v2, finding every kill here so far for the Bleed anti-eco. It's all into a lone fields that want to fly this time. They were the first ones to make contact in the previous round, but this one, they're the last ones to do so. Sheriff and the Spectre in hand. That's all they got to work with. They popped the Hunter's Fury, which I don't know if it's the right decision, considering they could save it for another round, for an actual gun round, where it might be more useful.
Yep, that's right. They really wanted to prevent the plant, but how much longer can they do that? Shock Dart does come out. He ate a little bit of that damage, not too much though. Where Maxi is, he's gonna put in that smoke. Gonna be very hard to push into that, but they do have the lockdown as well. They really, really want to take this round. That's 2 ultimates used as well.
Why? Oh, well, somehow Alone Fields finds himself inside the site. The last 2 remaining are there towards that A main position. They can try to stick a defense for a half, but as soon as Wanafly goes down, yeah, this round is done and dusted. There's no way he's going to win this. Even if he gets the kills here, there's not enough time left for him to try and successfully do this out, and Pith will confirm the round. I really do think, you know, it's a 2v3. I get that you have a chance, but they staggered both of their ultimates one after the other. Hunter's Fury first, which doesn't ultimately do anything, and then Lockdown as well, which gets immediately destroyed because they still have Shock Darts on the Sova's side here for Bleed. Very, very big misuse, I think, of the ultimates on an eco round.
Yeah, even I was surprised because you did mention that they didn't have all the guns needed to win. It was not possible. At least it was very, very hard to do that. I lost so many players as well. It wasn't something that they could win. I think right now they're just being too overexcited and eager instead of thinking like about how they can make sure that those sites or those games they can fully clinch, rather than just going for a 50-50 situation. Now suddenly you're down 2 ultimates that you cannot use in a round that you have full buy.
Ooh, I think his line is going to destroy the lockdown here. Perfectly placed. Yes, it will.
Oh,
that's going to stop it from
God.
getting much value. Actually, no, it doesn't destroy it somehow.
Barely misses it,
Did
actually.
they smoke it to stop it from getting destroyed? Was there something blocking its vision? That could be the case, but Kadoom finds the opening pick here on the defensive hold, and Conga Red's going to follow up, almost losing that fight, but successfully backs off.
Yep, Lone Fields trying to get some information here. Does tag 1, and it's going to be the Sova from the other team that will be found. For now, Wanafly, the beautiful swing out, catches Maxi off guard. And right now, the plant will be happening. Myth just trying to wait, trying to make sure that the utilities have run out of time right now. Pit still waiting in the corner here. Kadoom does not know, and nor does he. He's pushing a little bit forward here, a little bit risky when you think about it. For now, ooh, he whiffs that. Barely hits him, just by the side of his cheek.
Barely gets out, but luckily he's a jet, so he can just bail anytime he wants to. Fifth is gonna have to go huge here, and Lenny finds a triple. It goes down to a 1v2.
Make that
it's
a
all on the Lenny to
quadra.
try and get the ace clutch. It's in a 1v1. Ace clutch incoming, right click with the classic, does not connect as Wanafly somehow scrapes by when Lenny seemed to do it all. He could not get the final one, and Myth tied the game up once more.
Ooh, we could just say as soon as Myth goes forward, as soon as Bleed takes it 1 step ahead, Myth just comes forward as well, and it's not it's unexpected. Sorry, it's very, very expected from both of these 2 teams. When you think about how they play, there are so many rounds